Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this National League North fixture here at the Impact Arena as Alfreton Town take on Darlington. An opportunity for the Reds to kickstart a winning run towards the end of the season. Coming into this game off the back of a 1-1 draw against Oxford City at the weekend. Darlington off the back of a 4-1 loss away at Peterborough Sports. And the fixture this season, the reverse fixture, ended in a 0-0 away at Darlington. And obviously the season before that, Alfreton winning 2-0 at Darlington's place, but being bested at home at the start of the season. So an opportunity for Alfreton tonight to hopefully get some momentum going towards the end of the season, finding themselves only 9 points clear of the drop zone with 9 games remaining. Matty, what are your thoughts on the game tonight?
Well, it's one of them now where it's really getting to the crunch time of the season. We're in that kind of final leg, and the points haven't been great, the wins haven't been coming. We're still looking for it. Please, can we have it, that elusive win at home in 2025? I feel like we say this every time we're on here, that this is an opportunity. We've got to go out and try and get all 3 points today. But I think now the opportunities are becoming more needs. This is no longer an opportunity to go out and get a win. We need to go out and get a win, because I think we were slightly fortunate on Saturday afternoon against Oxford. Obviously, 1 down, them hitting the post, late on in the second half, nearly making it 2, got away with 1 there, and then probably got what was a fortunate red card for the visitors on that day. I think the fellow who got sent off, he committed 1 foul in the first half and got booked, and then his second booking was a handball where he planted his hand to stop himself doing the splits, and the referee decided to send him for an early shower. So, and then obviously that led to us getting the equaliser on that day. So we're a bit fortunate on Saturday, but I don't think we'll get that sort of luck tonight. So it's one of them where I think we have to go out and we're going to have to put a real performance in. It's maybe similar to the performance last Tuesday against Scunthorpe, which was a good performance despite the result. I think something similar to that kind of showing, but actually putting the ball in the back of the net is something that we absolutely need tonight. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned Saturday, probably one of those interesting kind of situations where both teams come away from the game feeling as if it's 2 points dropped. Obviously, Oxford were in a winning position and then threw it away late on with that unfortunate red card and then subsequent goal from George Cantrell. But then Alfreton had that remaining sort of 5-6 minutes, and then all of that 7 minutes of the added time period where the momentum was going their way, but they just couldn't find the ultimate winner. So ended in a draw, and both sides probably would have felt a little bit disappointed with that end result. But like you say, tonight we might not get that sort of luck. However, we can take confidence from the fact that the most recent performances prior to that Oxford City match, away at Brackley and at home to Scunthorpe, the performances, whilst the results weren't there, the performances were quite respectable. We, made Brackley wait a long time to take the lead in that one. Looked really defensively sound, and then a sort of similar story against Scunthorpe. Obviously, they took the lead, and it was 1-0 for a period. And even at 2-0, Alfreton still had the chances. Obviously, Luke Mattison had that shot that crashed off the bar, and then Jake Day with that unfortunate miss inside the 6-yard box. And on another day, if those chances go in the back of the net, it's a completely different game. And obviously, it's cliche, but football's a funny old game, and those sorts of things can make it change in all sorts of different ways. But tonight, 5 minutes until kick-off, we'll obviously run you through the sides as the teams come out of the tunnel. And we have got a mention for today's match official, Liam Corbett, who refereed us a couple of years ago away
at Gloucester.
Yeah, at Gloucester, a 3-0 defeat, and I think Billy Heath getting sent off on that day as well.
It was
you were there.
Quite possibly, in my entire life, every game I've ever watched or played in, the worst refereeing performance I've ever seen. His officiating that day away at Gloucester was genuinely terrible. He was handing out yellow cards for breathing. He gave Gloucester absolutely everything. Every time they hit the deck, free kick was given, but then he wasn't giving free kicks the other way for the same thing. We spoke about on Saturday how the referee gave a lot of soft free kicks, but because he set the precedent for it early on, when if you went down, he was giving it. He was at least consistent. If he was anything, he was consistent. Corbett didn't have that when we went to Gloucester last year. He didn't kind of provide us with that same kind of, if this happens, I'm going to give the free kick. He was giving it to them, not to us. And then when he was giving it to them, he was booking our players. And he sent Nathan Newell off for one of the softest challenges I've ever seen. They kind of just were both running for a ball over the top. They ran into each other, they hit the deck, and then he sent Newell off. He was handing out cards all over. The bus on the way back, everyone was furious. But to give him his credit, he did referee us again away at Scunthorpe as well last year, and he had a much better game that day. But it was actually the reason we kind of allude to him as this mysterious figure for us was because before our time, before we were covering the games, we heard myths about Corbett and how he dropped a couple of horrible refereeing performance beforehand, and then I thought Liam, who does a lot of the stats for us, was just being a bit over dramatic. He can be. But then I actually saw it at Gloucester, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe he's not. This is shocking. But that just means anything could happen tonight, and if anything, we won't get lucky again like we did on Saturday. If it's him, and as well, I hope you all like the sound effects. We've upped our production value.
We're experimenting with the little old soundboard that we've got on the mixer.
Juan's left me off the leash.
I have.
He's letting me push the buttons.
I've unbanned him. You were previously forbidden to use them, but we've now actually found out that you can also stop them from running as well, which is
the music you heard at the start runs for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't fancy putting a song at the start of our
but I figured out
the watch along. Well, the teams now do line up in the tunnel ahead of kickoff. A few minutes now until we'll get things underway, and they will take to the pitch here, and we'll run you through both the sides. Alfreton in their usual all red home strip, Darlington in their black and white hooped kit. Billy Heath has rung the changes from the weekend's fixture. We've also got a new signing in there, in between the sticks, the number 37, George Sykes-Kenworthy, most recently of York City in the National League, played 24 games for them in the league before joining the Reds, announced today. And the rest of the side we'll run you through in number order. Number 2, Josh Claxton. Number 3, Max Hunt. Number 4, Adam Lund. Number 6, Dwayne Wiley. Number 9, Jake Day. Number 11, Lewis Salmon. Number 14, Jed Abbey. Number 23, Nathan Newell. Number 25, Sam Osborne. And number 30, getting his first start, Owen German. And on the bench for the Reds, number 5, Adam Anson. Number 10, Liam Waldock. Number 24, Jerry McDonough. Number 32, Akil Francis. And number 33, Luke Mattison. Looks like it's going to be that usual 4-3-3 shape that we've been used to.
Yeah, definitely. And for our visitors this evening, they have number 1, Peter Jameson. Number 2, Ben Headley. Number 3, Scott Barrow, who is captain this evening. Number 5, Toby Lees. Number 8, Will Hatfield. 9, Jack Maskell. 10, Cedric Main. 14, Will Flynn. 34, Caden Kelly. 37, Charlie Sterland. 39, Ben Andreucci. And on the bench is 18, Archie Small. 21, Jarrett Rivers. 23, Will Madison. 30, oh, that's a good number, isn't it? 35, Hazenbach. And number 29, Matty Cornish.
Yeah, it could be 39, it could be 35, we'll see. It's been kind of scribbled over.
There's a 39 on the pitch, isn't there? So
there is, yeah. I'd take it. That's
I rolled for 35. Well, we're just watching the toss, but I want to quickly mention before you take us away with some fantastic commentary this evening. Remember, once again, stick around during half-time. There's once again a half-time quiz, but it's a bit of a twist. It's a non-league themed Who Am I today, so we switched it up. It's not going to be the same thing every time. And we'll have our little competition between Vaughan and Quinton, who's to my right, just out of shot.
Yeah.
Again, Quinton's not feeling confident this evening, though. After I can neither confirm nor deny.
We'll find out.
Those rumours.
Well, both teams now stood either side of the centre circle. Darlington in a lengthy team huddle. The Reds already looking to get in their formational shape. And it looks like Alfreton are going to be shooting the usual right to left in the first half towards that tin end and those fans behind the goal. Some Darlington fans over there as well with their flags out, making the trip down on this Tuesday night. It's a chilly one. But Darlington will have the opportunity to get things underway very shortly once Liam Corbett blows that whistle. We should be set for a night of interesting football here at the Impact. Referee checks with both goalkeepers. Starts his watch. And we are underway here at the Impact Arena. Will Flint gets things started. Darlington looks to go direct immediately. First header won by Adam Lund, straight out for a Darlington throw, winning that first ball of the evening, hopefully setting the tone. Darlington's throw from the halfway line does go down the line. And an early effort from far outside the box. That one's trickled well wide of Sykes Kenworthy's goal. Not too much for him to worry about from that effort from Jack Maskell. Tried to take it early on the volley. Bounced well wide of the post in the end. Sykes Kenworthy goes along with his goal kick, his first touch of a ball for Alfreton.
Big kick, by the way.
I was going to say that was quite a big kick. It's so much so it's actually gone over the head of Jake Day, but Jake Day himself penalised for a foul there off the back of that goal kick, so Darlington will have the opportunity to get the ball back forward. Maskell leaves this one for Headley. Back with Toby Lees on the halfway line. Tries to play that pass into Maskell. Osborne looks to step in, but Darlington do come away with it, and the cross attempted by Ben Andriucci, blocked by Nathan Newell, bounces out for a Darlington throw about 10 yards from the corner flag on that right-hand side. Looks for Maskell, finds him, turns into the area, tries to get that ball across the face of goal, but Adam Lund tracks back to put a foot in, prevents the cross, but at the expense of a corner. So Darlington with the first chance to swing the ball in. First corner of the evening goes the way of the visitors. Looks like it's going to be Caden Kelly on that right-hand side on set-piece duties. Darlington, lots of men at the back post. You'd imagine that's where it's going to be headed. Maskell makes the run in from the edge of the area, and it will head towards the number 9, but it's headed away by Wiley. Further cleared by Abbey, and he wins the foul in the process. Jumping ahead of his man, going down under the challenge as he headed the ball away. Wins that free kick, buys Alfreton a bit of time to relieve themselves from that pressure. And a chance for Sykes Kenworthy to get the ball upfield. Be interesting to see how the debutant gets on tonight.
Yeah, I think it's one of them where you can't believe how many goalkeepers we've had this season. Willis out for the season, obviously Askew injured now. I think it's one of them where we actually need a backup keeper again because our 2 permanent ones are injured.
Well, Sykes Kenworthy's long kick straight up towards the head of Day, and he flicked it on.
Can't have kick it like, can he?
I was going to say, both times it sort of almost overshot the head of Day, but his flick on that time runs straight through to the visiting goalkeeper, Peter Jameson. As Darlington look to come forward themselves now on that left-hand side. Claxton with some defending to do. Kelly still on the ball. Eventually takes the ball back the way he came from, sort of cut in from that left-hand side on the side of the box, brought it back to that area after some quick touches, and then tries to blast it into the 6-yard box, but into the side netting. No problem for the Alfreton back line there. But a couple of times now already Darlington have found a little bit of joy in those wide areas, at least getting bodies into the box and moving the ball into that sort of space. Something that Alfreton are going to have to look to deal with. Challenging Andriucci for this one, but Darlington come away with it. Nathan Newell with the long clearance. Headed forward by Lees. German gets there though. Looks to knock it round the corner for Lewis Salmon, who might get beyond his man. And eventually Darlington clear their lines. Charlie Sterland with the clearance inside the box puts it out for an Alfreton throw. And it's going to be the first opportunity for Adam Lund this evening to launch one of his trademark throws into the box. From that right-hand side, kind of equidistance between the corner flag and that home dugout. As the ball chucked back over to him, linesman makes sure he knows where to stand. German provides that short option, but outside of Claxton and Nathan Newell, it's every man forward for Alfreton here. Landstar into the box towards Wiley. It's flicked on into a dangerous area at the back post, but no red shirt gambling on it. Nathan Newell looks to head it back forward after that Darlington clearance.
We'll get another one.
And there's going to be another opportunity for Lund. Will Flint winning that header up against Osborne, but nodding it out of play for a throw on the opposite side now. Just beneath us on the left flank from an Alfreton perspective. Adam Lund with a second opportunity in succession to launch this one into the area. German again provides that short option. It looks like a rerun. Into the box it goes, looking for Hunt, headed away at the front post by Maskell. German tries to keep it under control on the edge, but Eventually it's going to run for Abbey. Shifts it over to the right-hand side now where Wiley has strayed out to the wing. Lays it back off for Abbey. Can't quite get there though, and Flint able to clear. Played over the top. Claxton with a evasive clearance over towards Hunt, who's headed it back into the area where Jake Day's gambling, and his header just over the crossbar. Really well redirected header by Max Hunt into that sort of dangerous area between the back line and the goalkeeper inside the box, and Jake Day just not able to find the target with that effort, but a promising sign. Alfreton go close in the early stages.
Yeah, it's unlucky from Day. It's a bit of a kind of scramble of bodies in the box. I think there's 4 people going for that ball, 2 from Alfreton and 2 from Darlington, and Jake Day obviously gets there first. It's what he does. Can't keep his header down, a bit similar to the game against Scunthorpe where he had that one later on where he had a header. Obviously this one much harder on the run, having to direct it down from up into the air. He's unfortunate, but positive nevertheless.
Yeah, it looked like one of those opportunities and chances that were created a lot last season where Claxton, you know, his clearance, you know, wasn't aimless, but it was just in a case of getting it into a forward area, into the final third, and letting someone up there try and do something with it, and that's what created that chance for the Reds and a chance to open the scoring, which eventually wasn't taken. But Alfreton still forward here with Day. Got that ball from Osborne, lays it back to Newell on the left. Shifts it onto his left foot, looks to get the cross in, it's low. Missed clearance at the front post, a few shouts for handball as Sam Osborne looks to rescue it. Still inside the area, drifts out of it though, onto the left again. And this time Newell's cross is blocked by Ben Headley and out for an Alfreton corner. Their first of the evening.
Yeah, really impressive from Nathan Newell as well, just stands up his man. He's waiting for him to make a move, it doesn't come, he shifts it as if he's going to come on the inside, and then he uses the outside of his left foot to just take it past that man, gets his cross in early. It's a little bit low and it looks like it's not going to get past the first man, but he kind of botches his clearance and Jake Day latches onto it, knocks out to Osborne, so good move once again. Positive start overall. Osborne
prepares for his corner duties on this left-hand side. Alfreton with that love train on the edge with Hunt, Wiley and Day in there. In comes the corner towards the back post. Adam Lunt's peeled around there, and his header well saved by Peter Jameson. Alfreton again going close. That corner from Sam Osborne. See, Alfreton have done it a couple of times where those 3 big players, in that instance Day, Wiley and Hunt, sort of form that kind of train on the edge of the box and then run beyond it, take the men with them, and that gives the space for Adam Lunt to peel in. And that delivery from Osborne was on the money. And Alfreton once again, out of nothing from that Adam Lunt throw-in, sort of flicked on at the front post. Lewis Salmon stamps a foot at it. Can't keep it down though, and over the crossbar. 3 chances in relatively quick succession for the Reds, but none of them taken.
Yeah, it's one of them now. Yeah, it's a positive start once again, just like the Scunthorpe game. We're knocking on the door, but we're not putting the ball in the back of the net. And don't get me wrong, none of these chances were as golden as the ones we had against Scunthorpe.
No.
We've got to start taking our chances. That's what's got us in this position now. It's never been a case of that we don't create anything. We're just not putting the ball in the back of the net. And, you know, we're really, really teasing it now. And I think we need to start hitting the back of the net with some of these chances, or this game could get away from us, sorry.
Well, Adam Land has the opportunity to launch the ball down the line over towards Osborne on that left flank. Carries it into that corner quadrant, tries to keep it in play and cross the ball in. I think linesman says that it's run out of play though for a goal kick before Osborne was able to deliver. Is going to be a goal kick. The referee agrees with the linesman.
Who missed the second chance?
Well, they went over the bar. Salmon. But yeah, it's the first time for a while we've seen that kind of corner routine with Adam Land peeling around to the back post. He had a bit of joy with that last season. Obviously requires the delivery to be on the money, and in that instance it was.
Yeah.
Forced Jameson into a really good save down to his left. And Darlington looked to come forward themselves, but Alfreton put a quick stop to it. Adam Land hooks it down the line for Salmon, chested back for Abbey on the right wing. Has Claxton in support, opts to go inside for Lund. Goes back to Abbey, round the corner for Salmon, who has a bit of space but wasn't quite making the run. He will get there though. His cross blocked at the front post. Day looks to recycle it. Back out to Salmon. Claxton, first time delivery on his right foot. Looking for Day, comes out to the edge for German. Gives chase and Gets beyond Maskell well, who followed Nathan Newell with that run. German to deliver. Didn't quite catch that one right. Lewis Salmon's forced to stray out back to the flank and rescue it, and he's done well. He's done all he could do, really, in that position. Got kind of penned into that corner by a Darlington player. Played it off of him and won the throw. So Adam Lund, once more, a chance to launch it into the area.
Yeah, I like that from German. You know, a lot of the times when our midfielders get the ball there, they go back, but he's turned, he's looked, it's positive. His pass isn't on the money, but it was good enough for Salmon to get a throw in from, which is obviously still dangerous for us.
Adam Lund tosses this one in towards the front post, looking for Day. It's headed away by Maskell at the front post. Only as far as Hunt, though. Wins that 50-50, tries to put it back into the area. And not a convincing clearance at all from Darlington. It's now with Abbey on the edge. Tries the volley, it's blocked immediately. Back out to Osborne, though, on the corner of the box. Looks to bring it inside. Goes down under the challenge from Andriucci, but the referee doesn't believe that one's a foul. And Darlington looks to come forward in a speculative effort from inside the Darlington half from Caden Kelly. I think he spotted Sykes Kenworthy not glued to his line, and he's fancied his chances at lobbing him from halfway. But that one straight into the stand behind the goal. Wasn't a million miles away, but had to be slightly more on target to trouble the goalkeeper, the man in purple today. Sykes Kenworthy doesn't catch that goal kick properly, and Newell's flick that one on just to try and further it a tiny bit. Maskell eventually brings it down for Darlington, looks to play it over the top for Cedric Main, who's drifted out to that left-hand side. He's up against Claxton, gets beyond him, pulls that ball back across the face of goal with his left foot, but the goalkeeper, Sykes Kenworthy, quick off his line. First real quote-unquote save that he's had to make. First time he's had to get down and grab that ball with both hands. Looked confident so far, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, distribution looks good. Apart from the last goal kick. On the whole.
Well, that long ball up towards Day was pretty perfect. Flicked on again by the big man, but Darlington able to clear momentarily. Newell tries to knock it back down the line, but trickles out for a Darlington throw. Ben Headley has hopped into the stand to go and retrieve the football.
I just think one thing we've actually forgot to mention in the lead-up to the game, obviously German gets his first start. We believe that's down to Cantrelly suspended.
Yes.
We forgot to mention he's not in the squad. It's picked up his 10th yellow.
Yes, which will result in another suspension for George Cantrell. Already had one this season from yellow cards. Adam Lund just having a little conversation with the ref there as he felt he was fouled in that little midfield duel. Alfreton maintained possession. Now with Day looking to flick it on for Abbey, who's in behind. Has he kept himself onside? The flag stays down. Abbey tries to pull it across the box with his left foot, but it's blocked. Back out with Osborne, though. Bit of trickery. Right-footed cross. Deflected into the back post, and Lewis Salmon.
God.
Somehow that header looked for all the world like it was going to go in, but I think the Alfreton players claim a corner. Linesman and Liam Corbett disagree. It's going to be a goal kick, but Lewis Salmon, really good run in there, just gambling sort of behind Jake Day. If the cross doesn't get to him, if it goes over him, then he's there ready and waiting. And with the deflection, that's where it went. But Salmon just dove in, tried to get his header on target, but it goes wide of the post. Obviously, the Alfreton players wanted a corner there, but the linesman seemed pretty certain that that one's going to be a goal kick.
It's just so hard to take. Once again, it's a massive, massive chance that goes begging, and it's kind of been the story of the season, just the ball not seeming to land like it did last year.
Certainly recently.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Darlington's goal kick from Jameson headed away by Wiley. Headley steps in to win it back for the Quakers, his main. Tries to get beyond German and slips on it, but Darlow maintained the ball. Back with Main, little flick inside, but not quite as intricate as I'm sure he would have liked. As Wiley picks that one off, goes to Osborne, who goes back to Newell, lumped forward for Day. Headed clearance from Darlington. Have the ball at the back now. It's out with Headley on the right. Inside to Maskell. Back to Headley. Toby Lees just drops it across the back line to his centre-back partner, Charlie Sterland. Over to Barrow. Brought in field. looking for Maynard once again, who has Wiley challenging, dropped back to Andreucci. Maskell wanted that one to his feet, but Andreucci delays and plays that ball down the line towards Headley. Looked like a good chop inside, and he still has the ball though, despite Osborne's attempted intervention. Andreucci still on the ball. I look to play it through that little half space again between the centre half and the full-back, but that time Headley wasn't making the run. Straight out for a goal kick, puts it into that spell of Darlington possession. But yeah, like you were saying, Matty, we'll just call back to that a couple of minutes ago, that it's the story of, you know, the last sort of 10, 15 games, just things not sticking, things not landing where sometimes they would. Last year they seemed to a lot more. And that kind of spell of momentum where there's 5 opportunities in total. Obviously, like you say, none of them golden opportunities that you're coming away from going, you know, you can't believe that it's not found the back of the net. But, you know, from one of those 5, you know, not taking those opportunities during those spells of momentum, that's what can come back to bite you.
You just feel like last year we'd have been 2-0 up, you know, from those kind of chances. We'd have got 1 or 2 from those.
Well, Darlington look to come forward once again through Flint, but it's picked off by Claxton. Up towards Day, who takes the touch and knocks it back to German. German again tries that positive pass over towards Salmon, but it's picked off this time.
Go on,
And
go
that's
on.
not far away at all from the gantry. Couple of
Oh.
inches beneath the sort of ledge in front of us. Matt, you were prepared to bring that one
I was
down.
ready, yeah. It's just not quite got the momentum to come up through the gap. I was ready though. I was gonna, you know, bring it down, couple of kick-ups, and I might have hit the crossbar if I felt like it. I hadn't decided yet, but
Well, we'll have to wait another day for that.
yeah. Yeah, see, I don't need to show off like in front of these. Dad already know what I can do.
Very true. Yeah, you. We haven't mentioned that you.
I was in the youth ranks.
Were in the setup at Darlington as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, way back in the day. Now plays a striker for Derby 5.
Well, Alfreton do win themselves a throw in an advanced position. We had one just now on the halfway line, resultant of that ball almost coming into the gantry, and it went down the line, sort of penned in the corner with Osborne and a couple of Darlington players, but eventually results in another Alfreton throw.
Primetime Adam Lund.
Yeah, Dwayne Wiley just asks him a little question before heading forward into the box. He's up there with Hunt, should come as no surprise. He's moved the advertising boards to give himself a little bit of a run-up. On he comes, into the box it goes, headed away by Maskell again at the front post. But Adam Lund is going to pick that one up himself, knock it back into the area. A lot of the Reds players there offside. But Hunt looks to get it back to Osborne, plays it to Abbey, who's got space on the right-hand side. Shoots on his left foot, it's bent, and it's a good save in the end by Peter Jameson. It looked like he was going to shape up for a cross there, but Jed Abbey chops in onto his left foot on that corner of the box on the right-hand side. Looked to bend it over the goalkeeper, but Jameson tips it over the crossbar, out for an Alfreton corner. Another good opportunity for the Reds. So promising signs in this first half so far.
Yeah, one of them, as it left Abbey's foot, it looked like he might have just off-footed the keeper. It looked like he didn't quite have his balance. It wasn't destined for the corner, it was more down the middle, but it looked like he might have just caught him off guard with a height and go over his head, but the keeper regained his footing well and just tipped it over the bar.
Osborne with another chance to deliver from a corner on the right-hand side this time. Day, Hunt and Wiley make that little 3-man pairing at the edge of the box. Goes low, though, towards Abbey on the edge. Takes the touch. Doesn't quite get the shot away immediately, but then eventually does on his left foot again, and that one wasn't far away at all, just over the crossbar. Struck with power from the number 14. But Jed Abbey unable to add to his tally. Just over the crossbar. Another opportunity for the Reds. It's, you know, we're saying that it's promising signs, but one of these has got to land. Yeah, the deadlock yet to be broken.
And unlike Abbey's last attempt, that one had the keeper beat. If it was just, I think it was a little bit wide, a little bit high. If he kind of brings it in a couple of inches, brings it down a couple of inches, it nestles right in that top corner. The keeper was rooted.
But again, I'm a big fan of that, you know, sort of switching up the corner a little bit. Going low towards the edge of the box for Abbey. Unexpected.
Got the set piece coaching.
Completely caught them off guard. Well, Darlington's goal kick up towards Maskell. Flicked on by the number 9, but only out for an Alfreton throw. A chance for the Reds to get back into the Darlington half. Cause a little bit more mayhem in that box, like we've seen so far. Adam Lund launches this one down the line towards Day. It's headed away
Yeah, it's
by
gone.
Toby Lees, but then it's bounced off of Jake Day, and Osborne kind of between them looked to sandwich the defender, but Darlington come away with the throw there, get the decision their way.
One of them where you hope the referee hasn't quite seen it, or
Yeah.
the linesman hasn't quite seen it.
It's a poor throw from Headley, and Osborne steps in to intercept. Nathan Yule comes away with it, goes infield to German, further across to Abbey, switches the play all the way over to Claxton on that right-hand side, back in field for Abbey. 1-2 between them. Claxton's left-footed pass in field towards Salmon was the right idea, but the winger unable to control that one, just bounced beneath his foot, straight through to the Darlington goalkeeper, Jameson, who's been busy so far this evening.
Yeah, looks a little bit timid for me there, Salmon, as he would look like he was bracing for impact from the player coming to make the challenge rather than focusing on getting something on the ball.
Well, Will Hatfield leaves that pass short for Andreucci, and Jake Day's able to step in and nick that one back. Adam Lund tries to spray that one over towards Salmon. It's nodded back for Claxton. First time cross again from the full-back into the area. Headed away by Headley to the edge of the area. Jake Day brings it down on his thigh. Looks to turn into space in the box. But Darlington able to clear their lines there with Headley up towards Maskell. Eventually, further in that clearance, looking for Main. Wiley gets his head to it though. Andreucci
Definitely handball.
looked like handball by Owen German, but the referee might not have spotted it. Tried to just hook it around the corner, get the ball away from him and divert the referee's attention, I suppose, but straight through to the Darlington goalkeeper in the end, Jameson.
Yeah, it's not ball to hand there either, by the way, because he has fully got the ball under control with his hand, whether it was on purpose or not. He's gained an advantage, hasn't he? So he's got away with one there.
Liam Corbett, thank you very much.
Yeah. Fortunately for Darlington, didn't go to anything, otherwise they would have felt really hard done by.
Yeah. Well, that goal kick from Darlington ended up being won by Wiley, and German looked to set Lewis Salmon off once again, and he got running down that right channel. Eventually wins himself a throw, which Adam Lundell come over to take. He's got plenty of time for the Alfreton players to make their way into the box. Hunt and Wiley striding up from the back like we see so often. Two fullbacks staying on the halfway line, occupying the two Darlington players, and German in plenty of space on his own as a kind of insurance defender. Abbey on the edge, every other red shirt inside the area. In it goes from Adam Lund, looking for Max Hunt, and he can't quite get his header right. I think it might have been blocked, actually. Toby Lees contesting Hunt for that one. It bounces out for a corner.
I think he just headed it off him, but
Yeah.
it looked like one of them. It was coming down. It was coming down so slow, and I just thought it looked like the sea opened up, and just looked like he was going to direct it in. But Lees out of nowhere with a Superman kind of header, the way he jumped.
Well, will be another chance for Alfreton to get the ball back into the box, though, with Osborne on this corner. In it comes from the right-hand side towards Hunt at the back post. Jameson gets something on that one just to tip it away from Hunt. Is going to be another throw, though, for Adam Lund to launch in on the left.
I think I've always said I prefer a throw into a corner, to be honest, with Adam Lund.
There's not much difference, is there?
No.
Well, Lundy prepares this one down by the left corner flag. Same setup as usual. Wiley and Day occupying the goalkeeper. In it comes underneath the crossbar. Jameson gets something on it. Abbey tries to keep it inside the area. Osborne might have taken a knock there, but ball still alive with Abbey. Chops back onto his left foot. Gets the cross all wrong, but it might end up being an okay pass for Adam Lund. Comes back to Abbey. He'll have a second opportunity to deliver. In it goes towards Day at the front post, and eventually diverted over the crossbar by Charlie Sterling. It looked like Jameson had that one covered, and he was going to claim it, but the centre-back taking no chances. It looked like he got his clearance a little bit wrong as well, because that one, I don't think he was intending to launch over his own crossbar. I think he wanted to hook that clear. But another opportunity for the Alfreton to get the ball into the box from a set-piece situation. Osborne prepares another corner on that right-hand side. You know, from this sort of first half, the majority of it dominated by Alfreton, yet to make something stick. Will that change here, though?
I feel it coming.
Osborne delivers towards Hunt again. Headed away, back into the area, though, into danger. Wiley couldn't quite get there, but Jake Day manages to actually shunt his man off the ball, but then in doing so, his momentum sort of takes him into the ball as it bounced back into his sort of midriff and bounces out for a goal kick.
Yeah, he was probably reached top speed there, trying to get to the ball, and he was kind of focusing on making sure he could use his body to kind of get in between the man and the ball. And once he'd done that, he didn't have quite enough time to react and kind of
slow
get
himself
it under
down.
control and slow his momentum.
Well, Jameson prepares this goal kick, does go long up towards Maskell. He's going to be contested by Wiley, and it is the Alfreton man that wins it. Hadley, though, sends it back forward, headed away by Hunt. Back forward by Lees, away again by Newell. Forward once again by Kelly. Finally the ball bounces, and I think it's Andreucci, upended by Newell, wins that free kick for the visitors. Liam Corbett assured in that decision. I think the set piece duties here are going to be left to defender Toby Lees. Darlington with a couple of men forward on that left-hand side. The free kick just inside the Alfreton half on the right. So it's going to be a diagonal delivery by the looks of things.
Any danger?
I think he was looking for somebody there, but Lees eventually does deliver outside of the box over towards that left flank. And Darlington don't make use of that set-piece opportunity as Scott Barrow, the captain, just tries to sort of recycle it and knock it back down the line, but got his pass wrong. Straight out for an Alfreton throw.
Yeah, and I think if you're Darlington fan in that away end tonight, the journey you've made, you'd be absolutely bitterly disappointed with this first half display so far. They've not really made anything happen. They've had a couple of, a little bit of joy in that wide area out on the far side, on the left, but nothing's really come of it. And they're just watching their team sink chance after chance, and they'll feel if they can get into half time not behind.
Probably a good result.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd snap your hand off if you offered them that now.
Well, Alfreton looks to come forward this time through Abbey. Tries to play a little triangular move with Nathan Newell. Adam Lund eventually gets it though. Newell takes it off of him. Goes back to Wiley, the captain today. And looks to hook that one down the line for Osborne to run onto, but Osborne didn't quite get going quickly enough. That one's straight out for a goal kick for the away side. And Jameson sets this one down. He has gone short a couple of times from these goal kicks, but majority of the time so far this evening he's kind of had them on either side of him on his 6-yard box and just sort of ushered them away.
They've struggled to get out when they have gone short as well.
And there we go, that goal kick that time not quite sticking for Jameson, straight out of play for an Alfreton throw once more. Nathan Newell up against Maskell, able to just sort of shepherd him away from the ball. And Adam Lund launches that one down the line, looks for the head of Jake Day, but Darlington half clear. German gets that one away from Hatfield and has to put in a challenge on Flint to keep the ball, does well. The midfielder from Kidderminster. Ball eventually breaks for Abbey. Looks to find Osborne on the left. Breaking towards the corner of the box now, takes it inside the area, gets beyond Headley. Takes it to the byline, left-footed cross. Jake Day gets the shot away and it's blocked. Salmon's there though, into the back of the net. Lewis Salmon picks up the pieces and finds the back of the net to give Alfreton a 1-0 lead at the Impact for the first time in what feels like forever. But finally, Alfreton, that dominance, that pressure finally tells. And Alfreton, a goal to the good before half-time. Hopefully, more of this to come. It's been nothing but Alfreton in this first half. I think it's pretty fair to say. And that move from Osborne gets the ball off of Abbey in the midfield. Osborne on the left-hand side, sort of shimmies, gets it beyond his man, takes it to the byline, cuts it back with his left foot. And Jake Day's there to get the shot away. The door slammed shut temporarily. But Lewis Salmon, again, making that gambling run into the box, just in case the ball breaks on the sort of fallout from the initial effort. And he was right there, right place, right time. Finds the back of the net, and Alfreton lead this one 1-0 in the first half.
Yeah, you have to feel there. If we didn't get that goal before half-time, or we didn't get some, one or two before half-time from all the chances we've had, I wouldn't have fancied it, to be honest. Because when you knock and it just doesn't fall, it just feels like one of them nights. But Salmon takes his opportunity really well there, and you just watched it slide into that far corner, and in all the madness, the Darlington goalkeeper didn't have a chance.
Yeah, well, half an hour gone. Alfreton finally break the deadlock here. That goal felt like more of a relief than a celebration. The last time, obviously, Alfreton led here at the Impact was against Warrington. Made that 2-0 in the second half, but we know how that game ended. 2 points dropped in the end against what you'd probably consider now a relegation rival, but Alfreton, if they can get the result tonight, finally perhaps kickstart a little run towards the end of the season and secure safety ahead of the sort of final month, I'm sure would be a much calmer finish for a lot of the players and the staff and the fans involved.
Yeah, you do feel like we need 3 points from this, though, especially after you dropped those 2 against Warrington.
Yeah.
2-0 up, they brought Josh a miss off the bench, who didn't a miss.
No, his shot certainly wasn't.
His shots didn't miss.
Well, Osborne, nice little turn down on this left-hand side, eventually brings it infield. Sprays it over towards Claxton on the right-hand side. Good work from the winger. The cross from Claxton, chested down by Day on the edge of the area. The German trying to challenge Maskell for that one.
Oh, well done,
Osborne working really hard to block that clearance from Headley. Bounces out for a Darlington throw, but this is what we want to see. Alfreton, they've been on top for the entire game so far.
Yeah, Headley furious as well there. I think he wanted to play that pass over, but he had no runners, and he was kind of waiting, giving them the opportunity. Osborne realised he had nothing on and just kind of stepped in, blocked that long ball, boxes them in.
Well, that throw hacked away immediately by Hunt. Up towards Jake Day, looks to pen his man in. Gets to eventually the feet of Sam Osborne, but he can't get it beyond Headley, although his clearance floats out of play before it comes back onto the field, so that'll be a throw-in, and you know what that means. Adam Lund over to take this one on the left-hand side in the final third, just about. Still seeing Wiley and Hunt go forward, and the 3 men of Newell, Claxton and German stay back. And Wiley offering some instructions to German. I think he's asking him to come in towards the edge of the box after the throw-in, because there was a chance last time from a throw where Adam Lund was actually the man that picked the ball up on the edge after he sprinted onto the pitch. That throw-in does go into the area towards Hunt, and I think it's going to be a corner. It is. Crowd of bodies in there. Darlington win that first connection, but it does go straight out for an Alfreton throw, and a chance to add to the existing advantage here.
What have we got here? Hang on. We've got a little message from Statman Liam.
Yes, it was indeed Lewis Salmon that scored.
Yeah.
Correct. Osborne has the chance to deliver now. Alfreton looking to crowd the goalkeeper this time. They've abandoned the kind of love train on the edge of the box, but Liam Corbett's going to make us wait. I think he's going to have a discussion with Adam Lund and the Darlington defender, Charlie Sterland. I think as Adam Lund looked to make that kind of trademark run round the back post, might have used a little bit too much of his body on Sterland, and it looks like they're just kind of playing a game of kiss chase now. Adam Lund makes the movement away, but eventually the corner was going the way of the number 4, but Jameson makes a high claim. Looks to set Darlington away on the break immediately with Cedric Main. Good control, and eventually turns to get beyond Claxton. And the full-back does bring him down. I think he might have worked his way into a booking there.
Yeah, I mean, Main was away from him there, and he's just dragged him down.
The yellow card is brandished by Liam Corbett, the first of the evening. Of Josh Claxton, it was just a foul that I think he felt like he had to make in that moment. Main was sort of pulling away. Darlington had men forward on the break. Claxton just took the decision to bring him down, put a stop to that immediate attack, but obviously does give the visitors an opportunity from the set piece on that left-hand side, kind of on that brink between the kind of midfield and attacking third for the visitors. Captain Scott Barrow being told by the referee to bring it back a little bit. I think he felt the foul occurred a little higher up the pitch, but Corbett's word is final. Barrow stands over this one. The left-footed delivery imminent. Darlington have players on the right-hand side on the edge of the box. In it comes towards Maskell at that back post, and he gets the shot in, and Jed Abbey turns the ball away on the goal line.
Well done, Jed.
Heroic defending from Jed Abbey, but the ball isn't fully clear. Back into the box it comes. Headed away by Hunt, and I think there might have been an offside in there or a foul from a Darlington player. The referee's whistle has gone, and Alfreton can breathe a sigh of relief as That delivery from Barrow was spot on for Maskell. He turned it goalwards and it got beyond the man in purple, Sykes Kenworthy, who's not had much to do this evening. At full stretch, couldn't reach that one, and it looked like it might just nestle in the far corner, but Jed Abbey tracking back and takes a moment before making the clearance, because I think he thought he didn't want to get it wrong and completely miscue it and knock it into his own net.
Line, doesn't he?
But yeah, he sort of takes a moment to kind of make sure he's got it under control and then hacks it clear.
You know what it was like? That Nike advert, you know, the David Luiz one where he's like flicks it up off the line. It was like that.
Oh, Jed Abbey keeps Alfreton ahead in this one with a bit of defensive brilliance. And the ball back in play now from that goal kick. Darlington come away with it through Headley. Looks to go down the line. Nathan Newell just forced to sort of swing a leg at that one to intercept the pass that was destined for the feet of Maskell. So Darlington will have a throw on the right-hand side in the attacking third. Headley goes infield to Maskell, turns beyond Osborne, prods the ball into the area with his right foot, flicked on by Hatfield, and Cedric Main was coming in there, wasn't too far away from him, but Sykes Kenworthy, quick off his line, claims that one, makes sure it's his, and gives Alfreton another chance to regroup and get back up the pitch and see if they can take this lead into half-time or perhaps add to it. But that's, you know, the sort of previous few minutes has now been what we kind of feared if we didn't take the lead. Obviously now we do have the lead, but still Darlington now having much more joy in the final third than they've had all evening.
Yeah, and on the topic of half-time as we approach, please make sure you stick around during the half-time break for a new half-time quiz show we've started up on Saturday. We've got football, non-league themed Who Am I?
Yeah, we're keeping it fresh.
Keeping it fresh. I'll put a reminder in the chat as well.
Yeah, go for it. I'll talk you through the throw as Adam Lund prepares this one from the left-hand side. In it goes towards the centre of the box. It's headed away by Lees, and Adam Lund is happy to see that one run back out for another throw. We'll have a second chance to launch it in there and make it stick. The same usual trio staying back on the halfway line. Abbey on the edge and every other red shirt inside the box. And it comes from Lund once again towards the front post this time. Flicked on there by Jake Day. I think he's asking for a corner, but by the fact that not many other Alfreton players were appealing for that one, I think we can safely assume that Jake Day just about didn't get that header right as it sailed over the crossbar at the front post. It was a difficult one to redirect goalwards with any sort of power because it's kind of dropping onto his head. But he knocked it over the bar in the end, out for a goal kick. And Peter Jameson has the chance to distribute here, whether that's short or direct. I think it's going to be direct again. And the referee blows his whistle to tell Jameson to get on with it. Eventually looks to go down the right-hand side towards Headley. Newell and Andriucci come together, but it does break for the full-back. Headley up against Osborne, looks to bring it back to Andriucci on the corner of the box. Turned in towards the back post, and eventually that shot does come in from Maskell, and Sykes Kenworthy seemed to know that that one was heading wide as soon as it left the boot of the striker. Wide of the his left-hand side post there. But again, another opportunity, a bit of a half chance for Darlington, but still they're riding this kind of wave of dominance that's come their way since the opening goal for Alfreton.
Good display, little bit of skill there from Headley. Looked like he was going to cut back on himself, went back, used the outside of his foot as if he was going to turn back, brought it in with the inside of his foot, got to the line. It was a good pass inside for his winger.
Well, the goal kick from Sykes Kenworthy goes the way of Darlington, and Maskell now has to bring it under control on the right-hand side under the challenge of Nathan Newell, who tries to sort of put his body between the man and the ball at all costs, ended up kind of kneeling down and surrendering possession in the form of a throw. Headley finds Maskell, who miscontrols it, but from an Alfreton perspective, he needs to be picked up there, and I think they're just fortunate that he's not connected with the ball.
He's just peeled off into space, and absolutely no one's gone with him, and the thrower happily just threw it to him in loads of space, and if he takes a good touch there, he can do whatever he wants, really can. He can try and find a pass, he can set himself for his own shot. But it's a let-off for the fact that he didn't bring it down. It could have been dangerous.
Headley gets it back from Andriucci into Hatfield, now with Maskell. Main on the edge of the box, looks to turn beyond Max Hunt and does get the shot away from outside the D. Struck with venom, but not too much accuracy. Wide of the post. Out for an Alfreton goal kick.
Yeah, Cedric Main kind of main man at Darlow. He came in January last year, and I think he had a lot of pressure on his back. They did a build the budget campaign, didn't they, to bring him in, where fans donated money to try and bring in a new signing in January, and with that money they got Cedric Main from York, which is obviously a lot of pressure to come in, but I think he's served them well since then, and that was a little glimpse of what he can do, kind of getting the ball under control, working a yard, and the shot definitely had power, just not the direction.
Looks to be that kind of player for them that can make something out of nothing. Although we've seen Maskell operating that kind of role as well on the right-hand side at the moment, but he's got on the ball at his feet a few times and been trusted as the one to kind of find that intricate pass when required. Sykes Kenworthy's goal kick eventually breaks for Owen German, tries to knock that one down the line for Osborne, threw himself into it, but it's going to trickle out for a Darlington throw inside the defensive third.
I've liked what German's brought to this team, to be honest. We see a lot of the time people go back to the centre half, we go back to the goalkeeper, and then we go along again, but he does it in one go. I like that kind of positivity, and that's why I like it, because things like that can happen.
Sloppy pass as he looked to find Claxton, and Darlington could break now. Here's Maskell on the right-hand side. Gets beyond Wiley, and he gets fouled in the process. The number 9, Maskell, gets beyond the Alfreton skipper as he looked to put a cross into the box. I think the ball was out for a goal kick regardless, but Wiley uses a bit too much of his body there. And Darlington now, off the back of that misplaced pass from Newell, are going to have the opportunity to get the ball into the box from this set-piece scenario. It's Scott Barrow that's come over to take it, the visiting captain. Looks to be the man with the delivery on him.
Yeah, that's what I mean about going back there. Newell trying to play kind of past 10 yards back to Claxton right across the pitch, and it's read and intercepted, and now Darlow have a chance to put a ball into a box basically for free. Well,
Barrow going to make sure he gets this one right. Darlington with a lot of men in the box, only 2 men staying back for the visitors. I think Barrow's asking some questions of his front men, and just before he takes it, Liam Corbett
that's stupid. You couldn't get booked.
Blows his whistle, and I think there's going to be a yellow card here.
He's going to have a word, but I think Hunt could be getting into the book here for that reaction.
Yeah, Max Hunt might have just talked himself into it.
Yeah, I think the Darlington player was doing a lot of buzzing kind of around, making himself a nuisance, trying to, peel off his man. And Hunt was actually in front of him. It was Lund who was marking him, but Hunt's turned around and started kind of pushing on his chest. It's just stupid. He's lucky to get away without getting a book in there. Yeah,
no yellow card in the end for Max Hunt, but the referee now does blow his whistle, gives Barrow the chance to deliver. Left-footed from near the corner, cleared away by Jake Day at the front post. Somehow stays in play. Nathan Newell looks to head it clear, but Barrow is there. Nathan Newell, though, not giving up on it, and eventually battles through the bodies to clear that one away for a throw-in. Straight back into play by Darlington, though. Here's Headley. Goes back to Kelly, brings it infield beyond Newell. Drops it to the edge of the box for Barrow, tries his luck from outside the area. And eventually, I think it is a save from George Sykes Kenworthy. Gets down low to his left, has to tip it wide. Strong save from the debutant.
Yeah, I initially thought that had come off the post, but fantastic save.
Had a long way to reach.
Yeah.
But out for a Darlington corner, and another opportunity for the visitors to keep this pressure on.
It's almost like we've took our foot off the pedal. You know, we were banging and banging and banging. We get the goal, and now we just kind of we're sitting on it.
Caden Kelly delivers from that right-hand side, and the header won by the Darlington man, Toby Lees, but he can't quite direct it on target. Out for a goal kick, wide of the mark, but a bit of a let-off there. Had not a free header, but he was able to just jump and freely head that one. Try and direct it goalwards, but it wasn't to be for the defender. And I think we are going to see the board for added time go up very soon.
Yep.
Fourth official's having a little play around with it.
Let's have a bet competition.
Right.
Is he going to hold it the right way around? Is he going to hold it upside down, or is he going to do something daft?
Well, we'll have a look in a second as Sam Osborne.
Oh, that's a great free kick.
Looks to bring the ball down on the right-hand side after Salmon was felled, and it is going to be an Alfreton free kick. I think this fourth official's going to get it right.
Do you think?
He looks like he's organised. He's got his headpiece on. He's got his long jacket on like Arsene Wenger. I think he knows what he's doing.
Not like the fourth official we had the other week at Brackley, who had his headpiece taped to his head. This is a really
Here we
dangerous
go.
area for a free kick.
Oh, spot on from the fourth official. Great form.
Oh, that's good as well. I remember once one of them held it up and actually didn't show us the number, just showed us the back. And showed about 3 people behind him, the bars.
But there we go. It will be 2 minutes of added time in this first half. And I think Alfreton, if they don't add to the advantage from this free kick, just going to look to see this out at the break with the lead. But Osborne set to deliver from the right-hand side from a dangerous area. Wiley, Day and Hunt all in there. In it comes from Osborne towards the far post, towards Hunt, and he gets up there. Can't quite get his header right, though, into the side netting. Just nestles behind the goal. But a good delivery again from Osborne. His deliveries
Gone sharp.
in this first half have been pretty impressive. And obviously his trickery and creativity on that left-hand side led to the goal. Won't be credited with the assist, but certainly without him, that goal doesn't come. Darlington do distribute. Eventually cleared away by Claxton, but Headley picks the ball up for the visitors, and maybe a last chance for the away side to get the ball forward before the break. Played inside for Flint, has to improvise to control that one, does really well. And now Barrow drops it back for Will Flint. Across to Sterland. One more to Lees. Brings it across the halfway line now on the right-hand side, drives forward into the feet of Main. Tries to turn and get beyond Wiley, but it's a firm challenge from the Alfreton captain, and Nathan Newell, no-nonsense clearance, gets the ball up. Think Alfreton know that there's not much time left in this half. Just had bodies behind the ball with that low block.
Any danger, Corbett, are we? It's actually not been 2 minutes, I've been counting.
Darlington looked to send the ball back upfield, and Max Hunt, I think,
oh, he's got away with that.
very lucky.
He's got away with that.
Very lucky to come away with a goal kick there, as the pressure from Andriucci on his back just kind of forced him to stumble a little bit as he looked to shepherd the ball out for a goal kick. And
definitely come off him.
yeah, from up here you can kind of see it's bounced off the kind of shin of Max Hunt, but the referee hasn't spotted it. So that one out for a goal kick, and that should be all she wrote for the first 45 here at the Impact.
Quiz time, quiz time.
George Sykes-Kenworthy prepares this goal kick. Liam Corbett, you'd like to think, prepares his whistle. And there it is. Half-time here at the Impact. Alfreton lead by a goal to nil, courtesy of that Lewis Salmon goal. Sam Osborne with his creativity on the left-hand side. A few step-overs, little ball roll, takes it towards the byline and pulls it back for Day. And his shot blocked immediately, but Salmon is there to pick up the pieces. Finds the back of the net. Since then, Darlington came into the game a little bit.
Yeah.
Had their opportunity, certainly, to level things, but as it stands at the break, Alfreton lead by a goal to nil.
Yeah, well, although it is the break, do not go anywhere.
Yes.
It's quiz show time, so it's not the same as Saturday. Saturday was a true or false quiz, 10 questions. And it was it was really close, but on that day, Vaughan came out 7-6 winner because Quentin chose the other answer in the spirit of competition. Today, there is a tiebreaker if you tied, so you don't have to, throw out a wild guess. The way this is going to work, football, who am I? If you don't know, I will read the player career path of a player, except the theme is they've all kind of come through the ranks of non-league.
Okay.
Right? So it's a non-league themed who am I? However, if you say a name and it's not right, you're frozen out.
Don't get to come back in for the round.
For that round. So if you come in too early, say on the second team, and it's wrong, Quentin will be able to hear all of the teams and then give his answer.
Okay.
If he gets it wrong, then I will reveal the real answer and no one gets the point. We do have sound effects. So that is, if you get the question right, you'll hear a little cheer. And if you get it wrong, you'll hear...
It's not working. There we go.
So
God, this is serious production levels now.
This is serious. I've stepped up my game. Right. So it's the first one to say the correct answer. If you get it wrong, frozen.
I'm really hoping I get to nerd out here.
Question 1.
Are we doing it in order, by the way? Or is it just any teams?
Yeah, no, it's starting from where they started to where they are.
Right, okay, I'm with you.
This player started at Hereford.
Can I guess? Jared Bowen.
Ooh. That's correct. Jared Bowen from Hereford, the first question. Yeah, are you all right to be nervous? Well, if we'd have got past Hereford, we would have got to Hull City and then West Ham. He actually only played 8 games for Hereford. Question 2. We start with the first club, tonight's visitors, Darlington.
I'm not going to guess. You're going to go.
Dan Burn.
It's correct! Oh, we've not got past the first team yet.
I had it in my head that it might be Jordan Pickford because I think I've seen the.
Up earlier about him playing.
Yeah, but I didn't want to gamble.
He started his career down in 2009. He went to Fulham, had loans at Yeovil, Birmingham, went to Wigan, went to Brighton, and then went ultimately to Newcastle, where he won the Carabao Cup at the weekend.
He did. Earned his first England call-up, yeah.
His first England call-up, yeah. Now, number 3. This one's a bit more difficult. We're going to get past the first team this time,
Right,
I swear.
okay.
I promise we'll get past the first team.
I'm determined to not let this happen.
This player started his career at Welling United,
Okay.
then went to Maidenhead United.
Oh, it's going to be one of these that just tours non-league.
He had a loan at Marlow, then went to Wolves, and he's currently at West Ham.
Welling. Oh, can I guess?
Yes.
Max Kilman.
It's correct!
There we go.
I'm so glad you didn't get the answers right because I would have been like an idiot.
It's the Maidenhead callback that did it for me.
Yeah, Welling, Maidenhead, Marlow, Wolves, and now currently, obviously, West Ham. Did you actually know Kilman came through a futsal academy, which is quite, and he played for England futsal, 25 caps. And look, Quinton's nodding his head, his little futsal knowledge. He would have got it if I'd have said that.
I'm sure he would have.
I was thinking, like, I forgot who he was currently playing for, to be honest. I knew.
Right, well, where are we at? Is it 3-1?
2-1.
2-1. Vaughan
I think.
leads 2-1. Right, this next one. This player started their career at Stocksbridge Park Steels.
Got it.
He's put his hand up
He's
before
put
me.
his hand
He's put it
up.
up.
Jamie Vardy.
It's Jimmy Vardy!
I was going to say, yeah.
You would have got Stockbridge Park Steels, FC Halifax Town, Fleetwood Town, and then obviously Leicester City, where he scored 181 goals after rising through the non-league ranks. So that takes it to 2-2.
Wow.
We do have 8 players and a tiebreaker, so we've got some more to go. We've got we're about
The players don't come out.
we're halfway through. Don't worry, I'm not one of the answers. You know, I thought about throwing myself in my little youth
That's
career.
why I didn't guess for the Dan Burn one.
Right, next one. This is a good one. Started his career at Pinkston.
Right, that's not a place.
Then went to Alfreton Town.
Oh.
Had a loan at Matlock. And went to Swindon. Then had a loan back at Alfreton. Went to Bristol City. Then to Middlesbrough. Then to Cardiff. Had a loan at Sheffield Wednesday. Went to Stoke. Had another loan at Sheffield Wednesday. And currently resides at Mansfield Town.
Oh, no.
And can I just add in, he's Alfreton's record sale. £500,000.
I was gonna guess on the first Alfreton one. At Carl McFadden, but I didn't want to gamble, and I'm right not to have. But I mean, who's Mansfield got these days?
I'm gonna count down from 10.
It's got to be Tacker.
Can we have a clue? Is it a positional?
It's a
clue?
centre half.
Centre half.
10, 9, 8,
Liam and
7.
Liam and Bill are going to.
Oh mate, yeah, they'd get this.
5, 4,
I've got nothing.
3. You both.
Oh, can I have a late? Can I have a late?
Go
A
on,
90
go
plus
on, I ain't caught down.
centre half.
Yeah.
Aidan Flint.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is Aidan Flint!
Get in.
Yes,
Yeah.
It is Aidan Flint.
Oh, it's a clutch pull.
Yeah. One takes the lead 3.
Let's get the VAR, 'cause I think we
The
were
3-2.
right
I was on 2. Well, yeah, it was Aidan
Tom,
Flint.
Tomo got it.
Tomo got
Tomo
it.
got
Tomo
it.
knew it was Aidan. He knew it was Aidan. No, first name basis as well.
I'm going to check the screen now, see the answers.
Did it come up first? Right, next one. 3-2 to Vaughan. This player started at Maidstone United. Then went to Fulham. Then went to Manchester United.
Can I guess?
Yep.
Chris Smalling.
It's Chris Smalling. Thought we could be a full house here, honestly. I didn't think you'd get them all. Yeah, that was Chris Smalling.
Yeah.
That's 4-2 to Vaughan. 2 questions left. You've got to get them both right to tie it up. If not, we'll do the tiebreaker for the spirit of entertainment anyway.
Yeah. If we got the time,
If
I'm
we
sure we
got more
will.
time.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Player started. Well, he didn't start at non-league, but he did have a
Go on, Will.
down. Started at Sunderland. Had a loan at Darlington and a loan at Alfreton. Then a loan to Burton and a loan to Carlisle. A loan to Bradford City. A loan to Preston, and he's currently at Everton.
Can I guess? Jordan Pickford.
It is Jordan Pickford.
I was going to say, I didn't know about all of the loans. I know he'd been out on loan.
I thought I had to throw him in, considering he'd played for both of the teams playing tonight.
Yeah, it's a good one.
To get him in there. So this is the last one. It's over. You can't pull it back. It was a valiant effort, though. It was a valiant effort. So this player started his career at Yate Town.
Sorry?
Yate Town.
We
Went
played
to
Braintree.
Chippenham Town.
Okay.
Then to Ipswich. Then to Bournemouth. And is currently at Aston Villa.
Ipswich, Bournemouth, Villa. Oh, God. Oh. I'm going to guess Tyrone Mings.
It is Tyrone Mings. Yeah, you're getting dusted.
I'm sorry.
You're getting dusted.
I didn't know he was where has he played?
Chippenham, mate.
Chippenham. Bournemouth.
Well known.
Well,
I didn't know.
yeah, well, he went to Villa in 2019, so he's been there for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Which is obviously makes it a bit harder. Now, this was the tiebreaker.
We'll do it for fun. We got time.
This was the if we were tied, 4-4, this would have been the one. This player started his career at Boreham Wood, went to West Ham, then to Luton, and is currently on loan at Rotherham.
West Ham.
Can I just say?
Started where, sorry?
Started at Boreham Wood.
I think I might know it.
I'm going to throw this in there just to...
Bournemouth to West Ham.
I think I might
West
know
Ham.
it if
Let
you're
me
going to give a clue.
Let me just throw it in there. Yeah, steady on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll as it's the tiebreaker.
This player actually, after going to West Ham, actually played in non-league for Luton as well.
You'll know him, I think.
He played in
If I'm right, I
in
could be wrong.
non-league for Luton, and he's played in the Premier League for Luton.
Is it Pelly Rodican-Panzo?
It is Pelly Rodican-Panzo.
Don't give me a sound effect for that one. That was a pity.
That was a pity, yeah. Pelly Rodican-Panzo obviously had the journey with Luton from non-league to the Premier League. Well, I think there is no doubt in anyone's mind that once again,
2-0.
Vaughan comes out the winner. Let's round of applause. He's come out with the win once again. You're gonna have to start doing some revision. You're gonna have to start. Although you have no idea what the theme's gonna be.
This is very true. Yeah, different every week.
He's not coming on Saturday now. He don't want to get embarrassed again.
I need some heads up on what the.
It's going to be all fun and games. I'm going to rock up next week and we're going to have
I'll get Liam sat next to me on Saturday and I'll get him involved and then you're in trouble.
Then I'm in trouble. If we had that round, he'd have gotten Aidan Flint before you even said the first club.
Pixton. Yeah, that's it. We signed him from him in 2009.
The infinite bank of knowledge. Will with a couple of answers there. They got it before me. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm invested.
Hold that.
So I'm not the real winner. King Alfred are the winner. Get doxed. but we've got that done in plenty of time once again before the teams come out. We've timed it quite nicely actually with the quizzes.
Yeah, well I thought I was going to do 10 players, but I thought with it being a Who Am I, I've got to go through their whole career path. The questions take a little bit longer, don't they?
Yeah.
Have you got any scores?
Oh yeah, that's
yes,
good.
great idea.
We should do scores. Borough aren't playing to ruin my evening, so I don't mind. I don't mind having a look.
Braintree are playing, so I'll get to find out how many goals we're losing to Gateshead by.
Yeah, so there's not really much going on. Obviously, we're leading by a goal to nil here at the Impact. Curzon and Radcliffe are tied in a deadlock. Kidderminster and Scunthorpe are 0-0. South Shields lead Oxford 1-0, and Spennymoor Town lead 1-0 against Needham Market. Gerin, do you want to know how you're getting on?
I've just seen, mate. It's okay.
Yeah, well, if anyone's interested, Braintree are 1-0 down to Gateshead.
Yeah.
And if
Just me.
even more interestingly, Boston are 2-0 up against Rochdale.
Wow.
Oh, they're coming for you.
Yeah. Brilliant. Why are they just good now? They have had quite the sort of revival. They were
After beating us on penalties.
they were completely written off by about everybody 2 months ago. Them and Ebbsfleet as the kind of bottom two in the National League, but since then they've just gone on an absolutely ridiculous run of form. And yeah, they're well in the mix now to stay up. Ebbsfleet, I think the same can't really be said for them, but yeah, brilliant. That sucks us back into it even more, unless we can find a result. No, I've got faith.
Yeah, he's going to start reading out Borough scores at live. Like, yeah, you're 3-0 down, idiot.
Oh well. Oh well.
We anticipate the same now. They should be coming back out soon. I'm trying to think how well have we timed that. So
Not as well as Saturday.
No.
it's been about 13 minutes if I've counted right from
45.
when we started. 'Cause
Yeah.
55. It has.
Well, yeah, go on.
It has been about. Well, yeah, it's been about 13 minutes if you count added time as
I
well.
was going to say, because
so-
we only had the 2 minutes of added time, so not outrageous. We'll probably see the subs head in.
Yeah, I just didn't quite anticipate you getting them all on the first.
Sorry.
Team. Yeah, he played 8 games for Hereford. Oh,
To be fair,
can I answer?
to be fair, I kind of had a little unintentional advantage because I saw that post. No, I saw the post about
I was showing them earlier.
Dan Byrne and Jordan Pickford being Darlington have the most players that made their senior debut for them in the England, like in the most recent England squad.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, surely that can't be true. And I was just going through and looking at where all of the England players started their careers.
He's revised. He's
Unintentional revision,
I only
mate.
told him the.
The topic.
I told him no, but he wasn't.
You told me it was a guess who.
I put it in
Or
the.
not.
I put it in the main chat as well, but I just told him like 15 minutes before I put it in, because I didn't know.
So it's 15 minutes, mate. Made all the
Form
difference.
was a bit rough this morning.
I was.
And
I did.
And he
In
wasn't.
the spirit of
he
the
was, He was
Irish.
struggling a bit. I didn't know if he was coming, so I was like, "Oh, you're gonna miss the quiz." And he was like, "Oh no, I'm coming."
That swayed me.
I swayed him with a quiz.
I'm not coming to commentate. I'm coming to do the quiz. This is just a secondary thing.
This is street cred for Vaughan coming and winning the quiz.
Yeah.
Nothing helps hangover like winning a quiz.
Yeah.
The oracle here.
If I'd have lost that, I don't think I'd have been able to live it
No,
down.
you've got it wrong.
There we go. Wonderfully timed as the players take to the pitch ahead of the second 45 here. If you are just joining us, go back 15 minutes. You've missed a brilliant quiz. But stick with us as Darlington, the first team to make their way back out. Alfreton do lead this by a 0-0 at the impact courtesy of that Lewis Salmon goal on the half-hour mark. And Alfreton will be looking to keep things as they were, pretty much. Obviously, Darlington had that little spell of dominance towards the back end of the first half after the opening goal. But outside of that, Alfreton kept things pretty tight at the back, had a flurry of opportunities before Salmon found the back of the net. And if they can look to replicate that, maybe add a second and just put this game out of sight, that would be the ideal Tuesday evening for Billy Heath side. Don't think there's been any changes at the break. Haven't seen any for Alfreton, I'm pretty sure, as all the Darlington players kind of twist and turn and I can see the numbers on their backs. I think we are as we were in the first half in terms of personnel.
Yep.
But yeah, big second half here at the impact as Alfreton look to get that all-elusive first win of 2025 at home. Is tonight going to be the night?
Yeah, not the. You don't want to be that team that gives us that first win at home, do you?
No.
In a year. Well, this year. In a year. That's it. That's a bit. It'll have been nearly a year the way it's going. There's not many home games left.
Oh. Hang on a minute. We've had we were underway for about half a second. Liam Corbett has his way. I think Lewis Salmon a little bit too eager getting into the Darlington half there, but at the second attempt we are underway. Osborne lays that one back for Wiley and he slices the direct ball aimed at Salmon and Abbey, making that run down the right hand side, but Abbey will come away with it, lays it off for Salmon on the right flank. Alfreton looking to make a positive start, but Salmon can't quite get the ball out of control and just trickles it
Still falling over it.
over the touchline. It's probably the worst start Lewis Salmon could have had to this second half.
He could have come out and forgotten his shots and it wouldn't have been as bad as what just happened.
Well, Darlington with the throw. Comes down the line looking for Claxton, heads back forward for Alfreton looking for Day.
Oh.
Tries to win the header and he does, but can't maintain possession. Adam Lunn looks to hook it back over his head Flicked on by German, again by Day, looking for Salmon, can't quite get the shot away, but forces defender Toby Lees into a headed clearance out for an Alfreton corner, and a chance to get straight back into things in this second half. Sam Osborne, you'd imagine the man to deliver. He's been on the set-piece duty in this match.
Yeah, really good start as well for the second half there. After Lewis Salmon fell over again, and then fell over one more time for good measure.
Osborne, 2 arms in the air. Wiley, Day and Hunt all make their way into the box. Adam Lund is at the back post looking to ghost in. In comes the ball towards the head of Adam Lund. It's headed away to the edge of the box and eventually cleared by Flint. Abbey looks to just hook it back out to Osborne. It's a good ball. Osborne brings it in from the right-hand side, looks to clip it back into the box. The reverse pass for Abbey, drilled across the face of goal.
Oh.
Cleared away by Darlington and somehow kept in play by Charlie Sterland. And eventually fully cleared by the visitors. Claxton, though, there to hook that one back forward. Looking for Day, brought down, laid off to Abbey, tries the clever pass through to Salmon, and a sliced clearance by a Darlington man. Almost makes its way through to Sam Osborne, but Captain Scott Barrow steps in to intercept and clear that one out for a throw-in. But Alfreton are going to have the chance to launch the ball back into the mixer, cause some more problems for the Darlington back line, and hopefully add a second sooner rather than later. Get that goal cushion, be all important.
Yeah, well, we had it against Warrington and it still didn't matter.
Adam Lund launched into the area towards the centre of the box, looking for Day. Jameson steps in with the punch. Hunt heads it back forward. Day tries to bring it down on his chest, and Darlington clear eventually. Wiley looks to hook it back in there. Away by Sterland, back into the box by Hunt, and eventually fully cleared by Ben Headley. Owen German with a strong header back forward. Hatfield responds with one of his own. Adam Lund getting in on the fun of just heading it back to each other. Eventually put to an end, though, by Jake Day. Into the box by Adam Lund. Cleared by Barrow. Into Main. It's a great touch to get away from his man, but Nathan Yule steps across to help out his defenders. And Lewis Salmon just tried to get that one beyond Barrow as the ball kind of dropped between the pair of them, but it is the Darlington captain that comes away with it, lays it back to his keeper Jameson, who clears long. Bit of a interchange of clearances, and the ball might drop for Main here. Looks to get beyond Wiley into the box on that left-hand side. Shifts it beyond him. Little Maradona turn, and eventually Owen German, the man to step in and put the foot in and put an end to that Darlington attack. But that was a bit of a scare for Alfreton there. The ball kind of broke for Main. Max Hunt kind of swung a leg at a dangling leg to try and block the pass. Looked a little bit half-hearted, and it made the way through. Cedric Main did really well to get beyond Wiley initially, but then just tried to do a little bit too much on it.
I think he did really well. He created that yard for himself, and he could have just fired a shot into the bodies and, you know, hope for the best, but he's trying to wait for this like clear open opportunity, kind of like what I do when we play football, you know, where I just don't shoot. It was one of them. He's tried a little turn, and he's just turning into all the bodies tracking back, and he's never going to get a shot away like that. Well,
Charlie Sterland there did well to pick the ball up, and then played a bit of a loose ball. His pass off target and out for an Alfreton throw inside the Darlington half, and this is probably one of the first times ever that Alfreton have had a throw in the opposition half not taken by Adam Lund. Claxton, who's got a decent distance on his throw as his own, launched it down towards Day, makes his way into the box, does really well to get beyond his man, and Sterland forced to put in the challenge, and I think that's what coming into contact with Jake Day leaves you like on the ground.
Move.
Sterland looks to be in some discomfort, but good defending in the end.
What happens when you try and move an unmovable force?
Yeah. Did divert the ball out for a corner. Looks like he is going to be okay to continue as he's back to his feet. Might be seeing the first change of the afternoon if he can't carry on.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to try and run it off. He's not going off for treatment or anything.
Hopefully just a little impact thing for him. And Sam Osborne prepares to deliver this corner from the right-hand side. Day, Wiley, London Hunt all in there as usual. And it goes headed away at the front post, and the free kick.
Oh, have a day off.
Awarded to Darlington, the whistle blown by Liam Corbett as Sterland found himself on the ground once again.
Corbett strikes again.
Getting those sound effects in, the evil. Liam Corbett. Yeah.
This is like.
This is why
this is
you.
a
This
Michael Giassi button as well.
This is why you are forbidden. You have too much fun.
This is
The Michael
Liam
Giassi
Corbett
button.
and Michael Giassi button.
Is that we need to put a little label on
I
it?
hate them both. They get ominous sound effects.
Well, Jameson's goal kick targeted at Maskell, did bring it down, but Alfreton come away with it through Osborne, laid back to Lund. Now Newell on the left-hand side tries to deliver the ball, brought down really well by Jake Day, laid off for German. Now Salmon on the right-hand side. This is good football from the Reds. Salmon looks to get beyond Barrow, but the captain steps in and eventually just about keeps that one from rolling out for a corner. Still
That's
knocks it out for a
brave.
throw, though, which is arguably more of a problem to deal with.
He should have done what's that fella done? You know, the Tony Pulis told it on a podcast when players got there. He's going to kick it out for a throw. And he
The
turns and
goalkeeper.
kicks out for a corner. You want to do one of them when Adam Lund's in town.
I suppose it's just instinct from the defender knocking it out for the throw, or they fancy their chances of dealing with those more than the corners. It's been a while since Alfreton scored directly from one of these throws, but
Yeah.
may that change this evening. Adam Lund launches it into the box, looping towards Jake Day, headed away
Shoot!
towards Owen German. A few cries to shoot from the fans and Matty, but it's recycled out to Adam Lund on the right-hand side, looks to deliver himself towards Max Hunt, who made the run into the box.
Free header. But
From the edge, yeah, had a free header. Couldn't quite keep it down, though. Had a lot to do from that kind of angle. And got power behind it, but just not quite the accuracy over the crossbar and out for a goal kick.
yeah, I think when we talk about like kind of these long throws and balls into the box, it's not whether they actually end up in the back of the net, but they exhaust the opposition out, constantly having to focus, a battle for these balls in the air.
True.
It is going to tire them out, and it's going to go into last kind of 10-15 minutes. You're going to be able to see it in the legs, I think.
Well, really good work there from Owen German, who's had to kind of step in and pinch the ball from the Darlington man following that Jameson goal kick. And that clearance from Sykes Kenworthy finds its way through to Jed Abbey. Plays it into the feet of Salmon, has to shield the ball away from Barrow. Adam Lund, Jed Abbey wanted that one in behind, but he opts for the diagonal pass towards Day. It will drop to Abbey, though. Not once, but twice. Still has it, the midfielder. Goes inside to Osborne. Tries to find the yard to shoot, eventually forced back to German. He tries to shot himself from outside the box, and it took a nick, and it almost trickled through for Jake Day, but it will result in a corner for the Reds. Another chance to keep the pressure on as it continues to mount on Darlington, who, to their credit, under the cosh for probably 90% of this game so far, have kept the score at 1-0.
Yeah.
And as long as there's only the one goal in the game, anything can happen and it can change in an instant. But Osborne prepares this corner on the right-hand side. We're seeing the usual suspects, Wiley, Hunt and Lund, alongside Jake Day, make their way into the box. Jed Abbey on the edge. Lewis Salmon occupies the goalkeeper. German, Newell and Claxton stay back. But Osborne, two arms up in the air, prepares the right-footed delivery. In it comes towards the centre of the goal, and Jameson parries it away, and I think the referee's whistle's gone against Salmon there on his goalkeeper. He's reached for the button. Lewis Salmon uses a little bit too much of his body to distract Jameson, and the decision goes the way of Darlington, a free kick right inside the 6-yard box, so effectively a goal kick.
No, I'm only using the button if I don't agree with his decision. If he drops a clanger.
Well, the clearance from the goalkeeper Jameson did go to an Alfreton player, but eventually turned back over. Max Hunt forced to just clear that one away as Darlington looked to come forward. Straight out for a throw-in on the far side for the visitors in front of the away dugout. Throw-in field towards Andriucci. Back to Ben Headley. Looks to go down the line towards Main, but Max Hunt is there to clear. Just gives Darlington another throw, slightly further forward than the initial one. Nearly just rolled my ankle on the flipping.
That's why. Don't say that. You've signed your life away.
Yeah, true.
You're not getting a penny.
That throw-in eventually turned away by the Alfreton back line. And Max Hunt again stepping in with a clearance. His third one in about 20 seconds. Up towards Jake Day, lays it off for Osborne. I think someone had to tell him he had a man on there, but eventually Owen German steps in to come away with it. Josh Claxton exhausts his feet out, lays it back to Hunt. He doesn't get the clearance right. German's going to have to contest Hatfield for that one, and he does do quite well in the end. Jake Day
Wrong way, Jake, wrong way.
Drops back in from the front line to sort of carry it beyond the Darlington players towards the Alfreton goal.
That's about 3.
Knocks it back to Sykes Kenworthy. He's forced to sort of clear under a little bit of pressure. And Darlington back with a throw, back to square one. Brought forward by Headley, diagonal ball looking for Kelly, but Claxton heads it clear. Brought down by Abbey. A lot of space in the midfield for Alfreton in that kind of deeper area. At White and Newell, who tries to go down the line for Salmon, who swaps sides with Osborne in this second half. Salmon now on the left, Osborne on the right. Max Hunt steps in on Cedric Lane to beat him to that one, and Will Hatfield.
What's he tapped me his shoulder for?
I think Will Hatfield thinks Owen German's controlled that with his arm, but Liam Corbett agrees with Alfreton that that one was not handball. Jameson's clearance picked off by Lund. German gets in there beyond Hatfield, thinks he's fouled, so do the fans behind the goal, but Corbett disagrees.
He's got to make it all about him, doesn't he?
And eventually Darlington rework the ball back to their goalkeeper, recycled. And now seem comfortable with the ball at the back.
I wouldn't in there.
I was going to say, as I say that, Jameson looks to control the ball in that 6-yard box that's seen better days, and it's nearly bubbled over his foot. But Darlington building from the back now with Barrow infield to Flint. Looks to switch over towards Maskell, who's got Headley running beyond him. He leaves it for him. Headley up against Salmon, does get beyond him, lays it back for Maskell. Can't quite get the shot away. Drops to Hatfield though, who might, he will, but it's blocked by German immediately. Back out wide to Headley on the right-hand side. Darlington have bodies over, but his cross blocked by Newell. And Jed Abbey able to carry that one out. Gets the team up. Laid off to Newell, who's ball up towards Day. Doesn't quite find him, but again, Abbey in a lot of space in the midfield, lays it off to German. Now Lund, back to Abbey again. Across to Day, who's drifted over to the left wing. Back to Lund, little short pass to Nathan Newell, who makes the most of it. Comes away with it, and eventually challenged by Maskell, and it's a foul. Free kick to Alfreton, really, really nice bit of football there. Sort of quick passes, 1 or 2 touches and offloading it to a teammate. Eventually results in Nathan Newell. I mean, the pass from Adam Lund was seldom a little bit short, but Nathan Newell stepped in, made the most of it, and won the free kick off of the number 9 Maskell. Gives Alfreton an opportunity to deliver the ball into the box once again, which we know they like to do. It's going to be Osborne again on that sort of left corner of the box. Day, Wiley and Hunt all up there. Adam London, Salmon as well. Abbey on the edge. Kind of the similar setup that we've seen from the throw-ins and the corners. Just bodies in the box. Big bodies to deal with. Darlington opt to hoist their defensive line a little bit higher towards the edge of their box. But there is the whistle from Corbett. Osborne looks to shoot himself, and it didn't seem all that far wide from up here, but into the netting behind the goal. Not too much for Jameson to worry about in the end, but just looking to catch the goalkeeper off guard there. I don't mind it.
No.
But the score remains 1-0 in this second half. Darlington weathering the storm, but Alfreton yet to add to their advantage. Here's Barrow, goes inside to Flint, and he's miscontrolled it, slipped on the ball. Allows Claxton to step in and intercept. Into Day, back to Abbey. Now Newell. Knocks it around the corner for Abbey. He's up against Headley. Brings the ball back, keeps it in play. Looks to turn it around the corner for Newell. Abbey again knocks it down the line for Osborne. Turns beyond him, it's a fantastic touch.
Referee.
From the wide man, and he draws the foul. That is
Osborne.
Fantastic work from Sam Osborne on that left wing. Brilliant touch to bring it infield, and then draws the foul again, and it will be a yellow card, I think, for Toby Lees there. The number 5, who was forced just to bring Osborne down after he got beyond him. Spare his blushes. But it will be another chance for Alfreton to deliver essentially a repeat of that previous free kick that Osborne had a crack from. Will we see the same again? I think it's a little too far to the touchline for him to try his luck himself. So we're expecting the delivery towards the back post.
So that touch was disgusting.
Not so nice.
You can't do that to people, Sam. You
Adam Lund heads forward into the box, gives Jed Abbey some instructions on his way through, but Lund, Wiley, Dane, Hunt all in there alongside Lewis Salmon. Abbey kind of occupying that role on the edge. There's a whistle from the referee. Osborne delivers towards the back post, towards Hunt, knocks back across the face of goal, and I think it's actually bounced off of Lewis Salmon and out for a goal kick. Salmon didn't know too much about it, but Hunt peeled off into a good area. Osborne once again with a good delivery, and Hunt just tries to knock it back across the face of goal, as I'm sure he's instructed to do, and Lewis Salmon just kind of looked to take a man away, but in doing so, blocked the ball himself, prodding out for a goal kick, but Jameson's effort long, intercepted by Alfreton. Newell laid off to German, looks to switch over towards Day. Great take from Jake Day, but he doesn't quite get the shot right and drags it wide of the left-hand side of the post. And a let-off for Darlington. That was a great ball.
He did the hard bit.
I was going to say, it's a great ball through from that left-hand side. And Jake Day brought it down excellently. And I think maybe took the shot, I don't know, too early, do you think? I think he was right to take it on his second touch.
He's just dragged it a little bit, and such a shame. I mean, he did the hard bit. That was like the type of touch you'd see from a seasoned kind of veteran Football League striker running in behind, touch unbelievable. And then I think, yeah, he probably has time to get the ball under control. He hits a bouncing ball, but he just drags it wide, and it's a little bit of a
that's a
shame.
foul.
It's a foul.
Owen German gets there first on Will Hatfield. Just runs beyond him and nips in front of the number 8. Plays the ball, takes the clip of the heels on the way through from the Darlington number 8, and Hatfield, I think, earned himself a book in there. Yeah. Liam Corbett brandishes the yellow card.
I was kind of waiting for the moment to do it, but couldn't speak me to it now, so I'm going to have to throw it out. I was going to... He's not on a mic, so I'm still going to have to... He said it before me, but I was waiting. I was going to kind of come on later on that Owen German is definitely in the contention for my man of the match today.
Yeah.
He's come into the side for his first start with Cantrell being suspended, and he's not missed a beat. Cantrell's been ever present, got the equaliser on Saturday, but German today has been fantastic. I cannot knock his work effort, everything, his positivity, trying to get the ball forward. He's been fantastic, and winning that free kick's just the cherry on the cake.
Well, Osborne delivers from that free kick towards David. It's a good claim from Peter Jameson. Looks to set his side away on the break as quick as he can, but Nathan Newell happy to just head that one clear. And Adam Lund, much the same, just nods it out of play for a throw-in and allows the Alfreton back line to retake their shape. Obviously, Wiley and Hunt were up for that free kick, so probably makes sense to allow the rest of the team to make their way back into the defence.
Yeah, he was never going to be able to bring that down, and if he leaves it, a Darlington play could get it under control, so the right decision.
Well, Darlington's throw infield towards Main, who tries to knock it around the corner. For Andreucci, he eventually will get there. Brings it infield towards the edge of the box, towards Hatfield, who tries the shot. And I think it might have taken a bobble on its way to him. And that's a pretty appropriate noise. That one was very high, very wide, and didn't trouble Sykes Kenworthy whatsoever. And I think we are going to be seeing the first change of the evening, and it will come from the visitors. We're seeing the board lit up. Darlington clearly not happy with how things are going. Need to make a change to try and find a way back into the match, and it is going to be the number 39, Ben Andreucci, withdrawn.
Well, who's this mysterious number 7 they're bringing on?
I'm guessing it's Matty Cornish, because that's one of the ones that have been scribbled over on the team sheet. We've had a confirmation it is Matty Cornish. The first change of the evening. First one for Darlington as they look to worm their way back into this tie. Still a goal behind.
Yeah, 4 officials held up the number 7 there, and I looked at the bench and I was like, there isn't one.
Well, here he is immediately, Cornish, looking to play it infield to Maskell, who's got a bit of space outside the box, but eventually runs into the body of Jed Abbey. And Hunt allowed to have the time to get it clear. Is won by the Quakers, though. Now Sterland across to his centre-back partner, Lees. Tries the diagonal ball over to Barrow.
It's a ball, by the way.
Goes beyond Salmon. Good take from Barrow as well. Knocks it inside towards Maskell. Recycle to Flint. Takes his time before opting to play the short pass to the substitute, Cornish. Osborne slips in his attempt to upend him, and Barrow, his cross from the left-hand side. Not a bad one at all. Not fully cleared as well. Here's Flint on the edge across to Headley on the right. Tried to play it in behind for substitute Matty Cornish, but dribbles out for a goal kick in the end, and Sykes Kenworthy untroubled once again. He's only really had the one save to make down to his left early on in that first half, and he made it well. Fairly faultless debut so far from the new signing.
There as well, as that cross came to the back post, Newell kind of headed it away straight back to Flint, and someone's got to tell him he's got time there. He could have set himself and cleared it, but he kind of doesn't know who's around him, where players are coming from, and he's just headed it away, giving them possession straight back. And I think there's someone's got to communicate to him there that he's got time, kind of get us out from that kind of position.
Sykes Kenworthy's goal kick aimed at Day, won by Lees, knocked forward by Kelly towards Main, headed away by Hunt. Abbey gets there ahead of Cornish and knocks it into the space of Nathan Newell. He's got space to run into now. Tries the left-footed cross from that left-hand side. Jake Day with the header. And it's not a bad one. He gets it down on target, but not too far either side of Peter Jameson, and he's able to claim and distribute quickly, get his side away on the break. Hatfield tries to play it inside for Flint, but Abbey picks that one off. So much space for him as well. Tries to play it through for Abbey. Flint with the interception, and now Darlington come forward themselves. End-to-end stuff here. Main knocks it across to Cornish on the right-hand side. Brings it back onto his left foot. Out wide to Headley, now Flint again. Darlington take the pace out of the attack for now. All the way back into their own half with Toby Lees. Across to Sterland. I think he's overhit that one slightly, but bailed out by his captain Barrow. Keeps it in play on the left-hand side.
Looks like Barrow's been on the sunbeds. Look at him.
On the halfway line. You're not wrong.
He's on the beds.
Toby Lees back with possession now. Brings it forward across the halfway line, and that's not the first time this evening that someone's tried to catch out Sykes Kenworthy off his line, but that effort even worse than the one that we saw in the first half from Flint, I believe it was, that looked to catch him off his line. That one might have gone out for a throw. Sykes Kenworthy happy to stroll out of his net and claim that one. Distributes up towards Day. Day lets it bounce, backs up into his man. Lees does win the header, but Osborne's there to pick it up on the left-hand side of the area, brings it into the box. Has to cut back in the end. Finds Newell. Didn't quite have the room for the cross, and he looked to knock it beyond Cornish, but Abbey's there to rescue it. He's got plenty of time to pick a pass, lays it across to Lund. Claxton delivers from the halfway line towards Day. Flicked on into the area, looks for Salmon, but it's headed away by Barrow. And eventually Cornish gets that one clear round the corner away from Newell. Osborne, though, drops for German, and it's nearly an absolute worldie from Owen German. We were talking about what a fantastic performance he's had.
I mean, he took the commentary cue.
Genuinely ripped the mixer off the table in that reaction. God forbid it actually went in. I don't think we'd have a laptop anymore, but Owen German just snaps at that volley, catches it so nicely, but has just a bit too much spin on it, and it runs wide of the post, but that would have been some goal had it have gone in from Owen German. Capped off a fantastic performance from the midfielder. I love the fact that he's took that on as well. Yeah. He could have brought it down and he's thought, no, I'm hitting this.
Yeah, well, he had me. I thought that was destined for the back of the net.
Yeah. You're sort of seeing it like float beyond the goalkeeper. I think it had Jameson beat. But unfortunately for German and, well, for us as well, that one just wide of the mark. Play is paused here as Charlie Sterland's now sat on the ground. We saw him go down after putting in a challenge on Jake Day a little while ago in this second half.
Might have caught up with him.
Maybe, yeah, maybe that's caught up with him and forced him to take a moment. Physio is waved on for Darlington, but a chance for both teams to have a little quick tactical catch-up with their respective coaching staff. Not too long to go now in this one, in this second half. Alfreton not that far away at all from a first home win in 2025. Please just forget anything Matty's just said.
We might win.
We're gonna curse. We can't curse.
I don't believe in these kind of what's even the words. You know, all this don't walk over drains, don't walk underneath.
What's the word? It's gone from me now.
Yeah, superstitious.
That's the one.
I'm not superstitious. I don't believe that I can jinx it by saying I think we're gonna, you know, we might get some points.
Well, Darlington forced into a second change this evening as Sterland is withdrawn after that injury. And I think it's the number 21, Jarrett Rivers, who's come on to take his place in that back line. Not a change that Darlington would have wanted to make. You know, you never like to see when you're chasing a game and you have to bring on a defender, but in this instance, needs must. Serland, I imagine it's going to be that impact injury from his challenge with Day that's come back to bite him, essentially. Forced him off the field. But we're seeing Rivers take up that position on the sort of left-hand side of the defence. Barrow step into that kind of centre-half position. So perhaps something of an advanced change for Darlington.
Give it the wrong way.
And Alfreton feel a little bit hard done by there with that decision from the linesman and the referee as Darlington get that throw.
I'm not going to press the button because it was the line-off, but I wanted to.
Well, Scott Barrow prepares that free kick on the far side. We've seen he's the man with the delivery for Darlington. And a chance for the visitors to level the score in here if they get this set piece right. The one-man wall of Newell over him from Barrow towards the back post. Sykes Kenworthy, though, confident goalkeeping, and he brings it down onto the ground. Bides his side a little bit of time to make their way back up the pitch. But confident goalkeeping again from the debutant.
I've been told off.
Yeah, Tomo, you're right, mate. I told him.
I'm not superstitious. I don't believe I can, you know.
I think you can. I think you need to be superstitious. We need to try something. Pull out all the stops to try and get something here.
Yeah, we used to talk about the Matty factor for about a year, so.
Yeah, true. Maybe that's run its course. Hopefully we can reinstate it now.
Yeah.
While Darlington in possession with Cornish brings it across to Barrow, who's slotted into that centre back position to allow for Rivers to be that full back, pushing on into the attacking areas. And here he is, the substitute. Checks back onto his right foot, up against Salmon, tries to play it in field, looking for Flint, but it's intercepted by Alfreton and cleared away. It's going to bounce out for a throw. I think Barrow's chucked that one back to his goalkeeper. I couldn't quite tell if he kept it in there for a second. He's right under the sort of blind spot here from our gantry. But it's back with Barrow. Across to Flint in the centre circle, brings it across the halfway line now. Out wide to Headley. Now Lees. Back inside their own half now, Darlington. Captain Barrow once again. Goes in field to Maskell. Shimmies away from Abbey. Dropped off to Headley. In field once again. Cornish gets it on the right-hand side. Darlington patient in possession now. Here's Hatfield. Barrow. Ball delivered in. Looking for Hatfield and Maskell, who was making the run into the box. But eventually Alfreton deal with that one and clear their lines. And this is not really what Alfreton are going to be wanting to see, as Darlington look to ramp up the pressure in the late stages now to find an equaliser. Alfreton just forced to sort of have bodies behind the ball. And every time, there's been a few instances now where Alfreton have got an interception and made a clearance, but it's gone straight back to Darlington. But here is Cedric Main up against Dwayne Wiley. And I think Wiley's adjudged to have made the foul there.
Yeah, definitely.
On the number 10, I think he knew that Main was getting away from him. Didn't want to let that happen, but also in the process, Wiley's taken a bit of a stumble and I think some cramp. And he's being kindly helped out by the visiting captain, Scott Barrow.
You know what he's trying to do? He's an ambassador, I think. He's going, Wiley, I know a brilliant spray tan. I can get you 50% off. Oh, I'll send you the link. I'll send you. That's what he's doing now. He's trying to sell.
Bit of marketing.
Yeah, he's involved in some sort of pyramid scheme for spray tan. He's got a cracking tan, and he's even been on the bed. So he's just he's given someone a glove and gone, "Here, will you rub this on my back?" No, you don't. No. Nowhere up north do you get tans like that.
Well, in the midst of the bronzing conversation, Darlington have themselves a free kick, and it is Will Hatfield that stood over it. We're seeing the two-man wall of Jake Day and Lewis Salmon spoken to by Liam Corbett, just instructing them, I think, to not shimmy forward a little bit, and they're going to do that anyway. Corbett blows his whistle. Here is Hatfield, tries the effort himself, and it's wide of the near post, but for a moment it looked like it might nestle in the bottom corner, but I think you could tell by the way that Sykes Kenworthy dived for it.
He left it, didn't he? He moved his hand out the way.
He was confident it was wide, and I think you can trust your goalkeeper in that zone that
I wasn't confident it was wide. My heart fell through my body.
From up here, it looked like Hatfield has just bent that up and over the wall into the corner, but thankfully for Alfreton, wide of the mark, and a chance to take a little sigh of relief as that goal kick headed away by Lees. And now with Headley again, this isn't what Alfreton wanted to see. Darlington just get the ball on the floor themselves. Osborne having to track back against Cornish as he brings the ball down the right-hand side, laid off for Headley. Goes inside to Hatfield. Headley again drops it back to Lees inside his own half. Now Barrow. Darlington playing something of a back three for the moment. Here is Barrow inside to Flint. Jadawi putting the pressure on, and eventually Wiley makes the choice to step up, gets the interception in. Straight out for a Darlington throw though. Billy instructs his side to get up, play a higher line off the back of this throw.
10. Well, just over 10, 13.
Just over 10 minutes to go in this one, as Alfreton edge ever closer to that all-elusive first home win in 2025. Still only up by a goal to nil here against Darlington, who themselves came into this one off the back of a 4-1 defeat against Peterborough Sports. But I mean, you know, we talked about the games that teams come into the fixtures here off the back of, and we were talking about Oxford's 7-0 loss against Buxton. It was, you know, we saw it as a golden opportunity, a must-win, a team that should be low on confidence. But as you could see from the result on the day, that didn't matter at all. Darlington still have just over 10 minutes to find a leveller here and change the story of the match. Still in possession though, but that's a sloppy pass from Flint. Darlington keep possession though, thanks to Rivers. Now Barrow looks to play the diagonal ball up towards Main. I think he's offside though. The flag goes up from the linesman. Another chance for Alfreton to just have a little breather.
Oxford are drawing with South Shields. God's sake.
Not the news that you
want
to see.
Not the conversation we thought we'd be having at the start of the season.
No, definitely not. But I'm sure if Alfreton can get over the line here and win those 3 points, nobody's going to be too bothered about the other results. It'll be all about the win. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm saying nothing else. Sykes Kenworthy sends that free kick long towards Jake Day, wins the flick on. Salmon tries to chest it down inside the box. Eventually drops for Day, tries to sort of poke it around the corner towards German, and he's eventually fouled Will Hatfield, who takes the free kick immediately. Darlington look to mount the pressure. In these remaining 10 minutes, Rivers looks to clip one in behind for Main. It's not a bad ball. And Sykes Kenworthy is able to come and claim that one here. Main came together with Adam Lund, but I think it was a case of the pair of them putting in sort of equal challenges on each other, both of them ending up on the floor. There are a few sort of half-hearted cries behind the goal for a Darlington penalty, but no more than that.
The heart wasn't in it.
Sykes Kenworthy distributes once again, looking for Day. Now for Osborne. Laid off to Abbey. Turns on it, lays it out wide to Nathan Newell on the left-hand side. Back inside to Abbey. Oh, but that's a sloppy one. I think he thought Newell was going to come back and help him out, but he's got his head up and he's looking at Nathan Newell. Still plays the pass straight out for a Darlington throw. Surrenders possession fairly cheaply. Although Jake Day steps in to win it back for Alfreton. Brings it into the box on the left-hand side. Lays it off for German. Can he get a shot away? He can! Saved by Jameson, but still in play. Osborne. Oh, but the flag's gone up. Looked like it was going to trickle out for a corner, but Osborne opts to keep it in.
Oh, I would have loved an Owen German goal there.
Mate, he deserves it.
He's won my heart tonight.
Yeah. Couldn't really ask for much more from your first Alfreton start. But Darlington, good ball out wide there. From Flint, finds its way out to Headley. Back in field for Kelly. Across to Flint once more. Alfreton, bodies behind the ball. Only Jake Day left up in the centre circle. Is Rivers on the left-hand side. Played it into Hatfield. Flint again on the left. Sort of teasing the ball on that corner of the box. Here's Kelly. Drops back to Barrow. Played forward into Rivers. Now Flint again. Tries to find Cornish. Kelly
Let that go.
knocks it around the corner for Headley, who isn't able to get there. Straight out for an Alfreton Town goal kick.
Calm it down. Calm it down. Calm it down, lads. Get far. I'm going to start doing things over the top, round the back.
Well, Darlington will make their third change of the evening in a bid to gamble and get something back from this match. It's going to be the number 14, Will Flint, withdrawn in place of the number 35, Hazim Baker. I think it's Baker anyway, at least that's what's on our team sheet. Bakra.
Yeah. Whoever did the bench has had a nightmare.
They've had a nightmare, yeah.
They've had a nightmare.
But there we go, a third change for the visitors. Alfreton still yet to make one. Wouldn't want to disrupt the momentum, I suppose, of a team that have got you in front and kept the score at that stage. But I'm guessing Billy Heath has now just kind of kept it in his mind that he's got these changes in the chamber should he look to run the clock down as the game goes on. And Lewis Salmon just then winning that free kick. The ball comes up from the goalkeeper. Salmon brings it down, kind of just backs into his man and invites the foul, invites the contact, and eventually goes down to the ground, wins that free kick.
I nearly done it again, by the way. You know when you see the changes in the chamber, I looked at the bench and I was like, where are they? But
they're all warming up.
Warming up again. That's 2 games in a row. I've looked at the bench and gone, where are the subs?
No wonder we've not made any.
We've not made any, they're not there. No, they are there, they're just warming up. So they're gone.
Darlington prepare
a stinker, sorry.
A 4-man wall. I think it's a 3-man wall. Oh no, 4-man wall. 3-man wall. It's a 3. Abbey stands over this one. Is it in shooting distance? Abbey thinks so. And Jameson spills it a little bit. Gets the free kick on target, Abbey. But Jameson able to eventually claim that one. Put any defensive worries at rest. And looks to get play back underway. Laid it off to Barrow, who's travelled with the ball 50 yards into the Alfreton half. Into Cornish, goes back to Barrow. Now Lees. On the right-hand side of the back line into Hatfield. All the way across to Headley. Hatfield again. Carrying it forward. Lays it back to Headley on the right-hand side in front of the home dugout. Into Kelly. Gets it back from Hatfield. Nice little move from Darlington here. And the cross from the right-hand side makes it all the way across to Cornish. Brought down by Maskell in the box. Cleared away by Hunt. Only as far as Hatfield, though. Abbey steps in, as does German.
That'll do, son.
Gets the ball as far away as he can. Just gives Alfreton the opportunity to step up a little bit. Relieve the pressure for 20 seconds or so.
It's about 5 minutes on the clock, by the way.
We reckon about 5 minutes left for Alfreton to cling on here, and I think it is going to be a case of clinging on now rather than adding a second, unless that's done on the break. But Darlington looking to throw everything at it. Alfreton having to compensate. Drop men back. Here's Kelly. Comes across to Barrow once again on the halfway line. Carries it forward himself. Might fancy a shot here. He does. And it's blocked by Nathan Newell. It's going to be a Darlington corner. Barrow's effort from distance. Strikes the leg of Nathan Newell. Just takes a minor deflection. And it rolls out for a corner for the visitors, which Kelly will take on that far side. Darlington having to gamble players forward now. Just Headley staying back near the halfway line. In comes the delivery. It's really poor. Doesn't beat the first man, and Nathan Newell clears it away. Only as far as Hatfield, though. Fakes the shot to get beyond Lund. Doesn't get beyond Abbey, though. Well stood up. Lund lays it back off for Abbey. Don't know if he's got much more in the tank, though.
Knackered.
Rivers with it for Darlington. Gives it across to Headley on the right-hand side. Comes across to the left for Barrow. He'll carry it forward himself once again, the captain. Might fancy his chances again. This time plays it through for Main. Max Hunt steps in. Does he win the ball? Referee thinks so.
What's he doing? What's he doing? Look, he's running. Book him, ref.
I was going to say, Darlington crowding the referee immediately after that one. Cedric Main felt as if he was fouled by Max Hunt. But Liam Corbett in agreement with the Alfreton players and us that that isn't a penalty.
Yeah, never a pen. He's thrown himself. Tom Daly's not dived as good as that in his career.
Sykes Kenworthy knew as well. I love that from him. Kind of took the ball to the corner of the box. Whilst all the Darlington players were running to the referee, he knew that they weren't running to the ball. So he bought himself about 10 seconds there. And Alfreton do have their first change of the night ready. Luke Mattison going to be the man that takes to the field.
Oh, he's held it upside down.
There we go. Mistake was brewing, of course, and it will be Sam Osborne to come off. I don't think he's seen it yet, and he has now. I think he's a little bit gutted about it, but Sam Osborne, really good performance from the winger, probably in the running for man of the match alongside the likes of Owen German and Lewis Salmon in this one. The tricky winger made the goal, and as we said, won't be credited with the assist, but picked the ball up on the left-hand side, dribbled the ball into the area, took it to the byline, beat a man, pulled it back. And after that, Lewis Salmon found the back of the net for 1-0, but Luke Matheson enters the field. Just under 5 minutes left to play now. Matheson, I think, is going to be deployed. Looks like on the sort of left wing, but I guess just as a kind of defensive insurance option. You're seeing now, we know that Billy Heath's wingers need to do defensive work, so just plonking a defender on there to kind of do that job kind of makes sense. And Jake Day judged to be a little too firm on Bakra there. And Darlington, let's get play back underway quickly. But
Ref's
the ball,
asking for a sub.
the ball was rolling. Makes them take it again. Barrow goes across to Lees. Lees will give it back to Barrow. Always has time to carry it forward. Salmon steps up this time, though. Lays it infield to Main. Cornish with the effort from outside the box, and it's a great finish from the substitute, and Darlington are level. They want to get the ball back to the halfway line, and they feel they can win it now. The momentum has been going their way. They've held all the cards, really, been dominant for the last 15 minutes, and that pressure finally tells Darlington level it. And that is an absolute dagger for Alfreton, who thought they were clinging on for a first home win in 2025. Still, of course, could happen, but it's not going to come as easily as it once looked like it would. Darlington 1, Alfreton 1 in the closing stages. Great finish from the substitute, but a sucker punch for Alfreton there.
Yeah, it is a great finish, and that's a real dagger. And I'd just like to say I take absolutely no responsibility for jinxing that.
Well, Darlington now, you could tell from the reaction from their players after that goal, they think they can win it here. They're not going to do it like that, though.
Just get forward.
Lees with a sloppy pass to play it out for a throw. Matheson, it's annoying as well, I imagine, for Billy Heath, because that's come straight after he's made the defensive change in bringing on Luke Matheson for Sam Osborne, whose trickery is probably going to be missed in the closing stages here. We have now seen Matheson shift over to the right-hand side to more of a natural position. Salmon over to the left again, where he started this match. Adam Lund goes down the line towards Day. It's flicked on, but thumped away by Scott Barrow. Headed back forward by Max Hunt. Looked like handball from Flint, but play goes on. Hatfield into the feet of Main. German does his best to dive in and nick it off of him, but Hatfield able to maintain possession. Goes across to Kelly on the left-hand side. Now Rivers. Infield to Barrow, who was asking for it. Tries to get it beyond German, lays it across to Kelly. Infield into the box towards Rivers, pulled across the face of goal. Dwayne Wiley there to clear. Only as far as Hatfield, though, on the edge of the box. Jake Day steps in.
Oh, you're joking.
I think he's won the ball there, and the referee gives the decision the way of Darlington. Hatfield goes down under the challenge from Day. And an opportunity for the visitors possibly to win this one. It's going to be Hatfield, who went close from a set-piece situation not that long ago in the second half, but we're seeing the four-man wall from Alfreton, Lund, Hunt, Day and Wiley line themselves up in front of the free kick. Barrow stood over it as well. Darlington gambling players forward. Alfreton with every man in the box outside of the wall, which is on the edge. Will it be the left foot of Barrow, or will it be the right foot of Will Hatfield?
Too far over for me.
Referee blows his whistle. It's Hatfield, and it didn't look half bad. Much better than his first effort. Got it up and over the wall and on target, but Sykes Kenworthy, you felt was too far over on one side, but was able to trot on over and claim that one with relative ease.
Yeah. 4 minutes.
4 minutes of additional time indicated by the fourth official. Alfreton now in that tricky position where they could look to go on and win this, but Darlington will be wanting to do the same, as that ball up from Sykes Kenworthy found Lewis Salmon, who did well to draw the foul once again in an advanced area. Owen German looks like he's going to be the one to take this. Obviously, with Osborne withdrawn, set piece duties have to change.
Man of the match for me, Owen German tonight.
Yeah, I don't think that's too
fantastic on his first start as well since joining on loan. He's filled the boots of the big boots of
George Cantrell, yeah. Goal scorer at the weekend.
Actually that big. I imagine it's quite small because he's short, but.
Well, the referee does make us wait for this free kick once again.
Oh, he's at it again.
He's getting a card out, I think.
Oh,
A yellow card brandished, I think, for Baccarat.
Yeah.
It was either him or Rivers. It was kind of a pair of them stood next to each other and one of them said something.
Francis getting kitted up.
And we are going to see Akil Francis getting kitted up on the home bench as a late kind of Hail Mary to try and find a winner here at the Impact. But Owen German stands over this free kick. We eventually do get the whistle from Liam Corbett. Delivery towards the front post, but it's not the best from German. Cleared away by Rivers at that front post. Abbey steps in to win it though. Max Hunt keeps himself onside, tries to turn around the corner for Salmon. Drops to Dwayne Wiley. He's going to try his luck from distance. Barrow blocks it. The Alfreton fans think it was with an arm. And Wiley adjudged to have fouled Toby Lees there, much to his frustration, but did look like a foul. Darlington tried to take the free kick quickly, but forced to wait as Alfreton look to make their second change of the evening. In added time, it's going to be Jake Day, and he sprints off the pitch to allow for Akil Francis to make way.
Well, he's sprung and now he's walking.
Yeah, he's remembered that he's got to applaud the home fans, but Francis, a late gamble, a bit of a switch up in profile, yet to score his first goal for the club, but shown promising signs. And we are now back underway. Jameson distributes quickly to Lees. Headley goes in field to Main, who's got a lot of space, tries to play it in behind for Baccarat. Wiley forced to clear. His Hatfield's chested back for Headley. Now Scott Barrow again, the captain, driving Darlington forward like we've seen him do so often. Maskell blocked by Hunt. Comes out wide to the goal scorer, Cornish. Here's Kelly, tries to pin it into Maskell. But his touch, is it going to run out for a goal kick? Well, Wiley shepherds that one out in the end. Main dived in to try and get something there, but straight out for a goal kick in the end. Sykes Kenworthy instructed to hold it. And Dwayne Wiley's got some choice words for, I don't know if that was the referee or the linesman or somebody else, but he didn't sound very happy. So
Radcliffe have equalised as well against Curzon.
A little score update, yeah. Oxford City and South Shields still drawing. Spennymoor beating Needham Market. Referee does blow his whistle for Sykes Kenworthy to take this goal kick. Headed forward by Darlington. Wiley forced to clear down the line, keeps it in play. Francis tries to flick on for Salmon, but it's cleared by Darlington. Matteson gets there to win the header. Owen German flings himself into it and comes away with the ball. Lays it back for Claxton. Really confident turn from Claxton. Slightly less confident pass, but he finds Matteson in space, knocks it around the corner for Francis, who I think has kept himself onside. No, he hasn't.
You tease.
The linesman's just waited for him to control it before raising the flag. He made us believe for a second there that he'd made a fantastic run in behind. But Francis, I mean, he did look offside, and I was kind of expecting the flag, but cheeky little linesman waited until he touched the ball before he raised the flag. And there is your full-time whistle. Alfreton Town, that win at the Impact in 2025 eludes them yet again. And it's a 1-1 draw against Darlington, who higher up in the table in isolation probably looks like a decent result, but having led for the majority of the match, you can't help but think the players and the fans are going to be a little bit frustrated to not come away with all 3 points. But Lewis Salmon put Alfreton ahead in the first half, and it looked like that was going to be the lone goal of the game. But it was the substitute, Matty Cornish, to salvage a point for the Quakers on the road. And they'll head back to the northeast with something to show for their travels here in Derbyshire. It ends Alfreton Town 1, Darlington 1. Matty, give us your thoughts on that 90 minutes.
It's one of them. Too many chances have gone begging in the first half, and we've been made to pay once again. You know, I worried that if one didn't go in, we would go on and lose. Luckily, one did, but it's a great finish from Cornish off the bench as well. He's come on, he controls it, he guides it into that bottom corner as well. It's just it's so unfortunate, but I think we're a victim, the victim of our own demise, to be honest, because I don't think we should be sitting on that lead so heavily. I mean, it's a 1-goal lead, and we were so happy to sit and kind of play on that 1-goal lead. We started this game so positively. So we started this game, dominating chance after chance. We looked the better team, and we're at home. Go and get another. Keep fighting. Try and get a second. Try and get a third. But once again, we've come back. We've sat back on a 1-0 lead, and we've tried to hold it all the way through this second half. And I think that's what's cost us, to be honest. We didn't keep coming forward. We didn't keep banging on the door. We didn't keep asking questions. And, Billy always says it's all about asking questions, but I don't think we did that in that second half. I think we come out to sit on a 1-0 lead. And I think we nearly did it. We nearly got over the line. It's not the worst tactic in the world.
No.
You've seen teams pull it off. But for me, when you invite pressure like that, it's one of them. But this man who's just walking in front of us, Owen German, just below us on the gantry, was a really bright light today. Yeah,
some serious full debut for him.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I take my hat off to him. I give him his flowers. He was brilliant. And seeing him in the side, knowing Cantrell was suspended, I didn't expect. I definitely didn't expect that.
No,
but he was fantastic. So I think a big positive today was definitely German. I thought Jake Dare had a really good game as well. Clacky was good back in the side after. Matheson has kind of had a couple of run of games. Obviously, Salmon getting the goal.
Solid debut, I thought, from Sykes Kenworthy as well. He's a bit unlucky with a goal. Yeah, pretty unsavable, but outside of that, made a couple of good stops.
Yeah, it's one. Once again, it eludes us the win at home. I thought this was it. I really did.
Yeah, it felt like it.
But it's.
I think we might be back.
We're back. Right. Sorry if we just disappeared. Quentin's pulled the plug out the commentary gear. As we're giving our final thoughts and wrapping it up. We will leave it there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for tuning in on this cold Tuesday evening for what was a good game of football. Unfortunately, not to get the 3 points. Hopefully, we will see you on Saturday afternoon away at Charlie, where maybe wins. They actually happen away from home, so maybe we can get one on Saturday. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. There'll be another quiz on Saturday, so if anything, come for the quiz, and we will see you then.